El diablo. De nuevo. De nuevo. Oh my gosh. Ahora, o sea, me entraron 20 mensajes al mismo tiempo y ahora hay audio, ¿o no? La muda. Oh my gosh. O sea, que yo tengo aquí 5 minutos hablando disparate y... ¡Qué maldita vaina! ¿En serio? Me llegaron 20 mensajes. Fuapiti. No había visto... O sea, que ustedes estaban aquí. ¡Qué maldita vaina! Anyways. Gracias. ¡Ay, yo me... ¡Manda el diablo! No, pero si tú ven acá, tú hiciste un video de eso, pues tu video, súbelo, ¿qué pasa? Eso no tiene nada que ver. Todo el mundo habla de la misma vaina últimamente, o sea que eso no tiene nada que ver. Sube tu video, eso es un trabajo que tú pusiste ahí. En fin, vamos a comenzar again. ¡Qué maldita vaina! Anyways, Flor de Oro, mi amor, estabas perdida. Yo estaba ya preocupada. Porque, ay, miren a Morena y falta Blood Month. Yo no te veo a ti, a Blood Month. Y a Morena, yo digo, ¿qué estará pasando? Ponga subtítulos. Anyways, I will continue in English again, para que otra gente que habla inglés me vea. So, guys, we all know that DANI made a song about, you know, she was uplifting. No, the question actually is, I want to debate if DANI is a colorist for uplifting light-skinned women or yellow-boned women, or people mad about that are just insecure. So I will put here the link. Okay, you can hear me now. So in my from my point of view, of course, she made a song celebrating her skin tone, her skin complexion, or the skin tone of women with her tone, color, whatever. She did not say that her skin is better, or that light skin is better and the dark skin is trash, is ugly. She did not put anyone down. She did not compare herself or her skin tone to anyone. So, you know, if you ask, my political incorrect answer and not pandering answer is, if you're mad about that song, then you're just insecure and you're projecting your insecurities on her. You're projecting your complexes on her. So it's not about her. It's it's about you. It's about you. And I mean, some people are just never satisfied. I think that though many women are just mad, big mad, that she is in a relationship with a baby, the rapper. I mean, and some people just have a low IQ or 30 points IQ, I guess. So does she need downplay or to play down her own skin color or complexion, or who she is, to make people feel better? If I have to downplay myself to make you feel better, then you have the problem. It's not my problem. Then you suffer from a severe complex and you have a very fragile ego. So in order for you to feel better, someone has to downplay themselves? Come on. Por Dios. So, of course, when people started with a controversy and accusing her of being a colorist, she made a comment, or she posted something saying that she made a song for her light-skinned baddies, for light-skinned women, whatever. And she also said that, you know, millions of songs are made talking about different complexions. So why are people hating on her? And I think it's true. India Airy made a song about, you know, brown skin, something 10 years ago. I do not remember the lyrics. But it was something sensual and about that she liked someone's brown skin, or the man liked her brown skin. And Beyonce made also a song about brown skin girl, whatever. So why are people mad? Oh yes, rappers make all the time songs about light skin women. Yeah, I don't want rappers to make songs about light skin or purple skin women. Those rappers just call women hoes and vicious. and baby mama and all that stuff. If you want to be mad at someone, be mad at the rappers. They are the problem. And if you're truly mad about her, then you can song about light-skinned person. Then you're damn. Your head is empty. We're in a pandemic, and you choose to be mad about that. Oh my gosh! Like, I feel embarrassed for you. Out of all the problems of the world, like, all the problems that you have, you choose to be mad about that. Wow. Qué vaina. Macho, welcome.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Buenas tardes, buenas noches.
Buenas noches. Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes, buenas noches. Buenos días. ¿Qué hora es allá? Allá son la 1.
No, la 12:03.
Ok, la 12:03. Ok, 6 horas. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, con el tema, I'm speaking English. DANI LEIGH. Yeah, I ran into this whole little controversy because I just installed Twitter, and I installed Twitter to get news quicker because the news just is the quickest, so you can know what's going on. So I look up Dominican, and then when I search, that's the first thing that comes up.
Exactly.
And I'm like, okay, and I'm reading like comments. Oh, you're with the baby, some rapper, and you're Dominican, and now you're black, a Dominican. And I'm like, oh fuck, we're going into this world yet again. Well, and it's great. I mean, if I'm a marketer and I'm Dominican, I'm like, look, we've been exploiting race and Dominicanness and Afrocentricity for this past year. So maybe we could ride that train and make a buck out of it.
The past 5 years. The past 5 years.
Yeah. Oh, the past 5 years. Well, there you go. And she happens to be Dominican. Okay. Well, my whole thing on it is Latinos in general shouldn't go in African-American spaces to kind of view their own political thoughts or nationality thoughts, because then you're going to offend someone. But if she did it in her own sphere, I think people wouldn't even pay mind to it. But it's the fact that she's Latina, and they feel a little bit threatened, I guess, by her looks, and the fact that she's not of black skin. Right. So it's that whole colorist thing, and her being proud of being yellow bone. Well, because I remember one time when I went down south and they called me red bone, which is basically like a white and black person, a mulatto.
Mulatto.
Oh, what? Yeah, so it's red bone, they say. So they called her yellow bone because of her skin complexion or whatever. Yeah. And I guess she made a song about it, and here we are.
Yeah, I think some people act dumb on purpose, as I said, I guess. And they don't use logic. They don't use common sense. They're never satisfied. And actually, what she did was smart. Come on. She knew she would create a controversy.
Yeah, because that's all you want.
People are so focused on that. That kind of things don't work in countries like Dominican Republic or all that. It's
no.
That's maybe bad publicity, but still publicity.
Yeah, it's still publicity. It's still publicity.
Yeah. She knew she was be getting reactions and outrage and all that stuff. So actually, to me, that's actually very funny. But at the same time, again, I forgot. Someone of you guys told me how to say that. Me da vergüenza ajena esa reacción en Estados Unidos. For real. Secondhand shame. Is that the word? I have secondhand shame because people look dumb. People look, come on, like truly dumb. Like you don't have any other things to worry about. Like if you want to be mad at the rappers. Rappers are the ones that sold the world that ghetto culture. I did not grow up in the U.S. So what I thought the U.S. was when I was a child, and many people here, all the minorities here in Europe, and even just European people, will tell you the same thing. The U.S. Black Americans were the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, upper class.
The Cosby Show.
Yeah. Family Matters, and all that stuff.
Yes.
So that's what we thought the U.S. was. And then you had the rappers calling from rapping about dealing illicit products in your own neighborhood, about women being strippers, being hoes,
Yeah.
being whatever, being baby mama. They are degrading, humiliating women. And then I have never ever seen an outrage of those women, about rappers. I remember a song of Jay-Z, I think was Seeing It All, I've Seen It All, or something like that. And he was actually talking, in his song, it was like dealing was, like having being in prison was like having a badge of honor because you
Yeah.
were dealing in your neighborhood. Like he was glorifying dealing, crack, everything you can deal in your own neighborhood. Like you're a hero. I am like, what the heck? If you want to be mad at people, be mad at him. They are the ones that show the world that, all that twerking thing, all the social media, internet, and all that stuff. And
Did you see the thing with Black Lives Matter when they had the girl twerking like with the American flag shorts and stuff?
I
was like, what the? And I think they took it down because they got
And then you have
criticism.
Lizzo.
I was like, what the hell are they doing? Like, aren't they supposed to be revolutionaries or some sort?
Exactly.
What are you doing?
You're doubting yourself. I mean, like, what the heck? If you want to be mad at someone, be mad at them. Be mad at those, the Cardi B's of this world.
Yeah.
Be mad at those girls that are Cardi B follower disciples or something. They believe that they can do and say the same thing as her. She's a performer. She's a person. No, Cardi B is herself. But come on, she can be the righteous one. There is only one Cardi B, and she's making millions with that. Not you, not me. So I think that those women are just insecure, protecting their insecurities, and they're just mad.
Yeah.
And at the same time, some say, "Oh yes, that reinforces colorism and racism and everything because it's they're not talking, they're not uplifting your character." But at the same time, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because she made a song called Yellow Bone because someone called her Yellow Bone. She didn't call herself that. So she made a song about it. Oh, he calls me Yellow Bone, whatever, So I don't know what the big deal is about that. I just think it's just like I said, they feel threatened by her, The first thing was B Simone. She's like, oh, why she gotta be so sexy, That's it. That's it right there. Why does she have to be so good looking? Why? That's not fair,
Yeah.
So it comes from that. It's a lot of, I think, women in general, American women, are feeling threatened by Latinas.
I mean, like it's just a reason to be mad, I guess. There's always something, and at the same time, they're always saying like, yeah, black men prefer light skinned women. You cannot control that. If a man prefers whoever he prefers, you cannot change that. I cannot change the fact that you like skinny girls. You cannot.
Yeah.
You cannot change the fact that my sister only likes dark skinned men. I cannot change that.
Yeah, people like what they like.
People like what they like. For whatever reason it is, they like what they like. So shaming them, dragging those women that those men prefer is not helping you or your career, your personality, or your it's just people like to focus on those things. It's like you're walking away a long way and you're picking up all the stones that are putting down on your feet. So you will never reach your goals or end wherever. It's just like people are, no one is throwing stones at you. You're seeing stones and you're picking them up. You're choosing to picking them up instead of continuing your way. Man, I feel so embarrassed for them. That's so dumb. Duh. So and
it's sensationalizing crap. It's not important. And, that's the thing. It's like if you look up Dominican Twitter, that's the first thing that comes up. It's not.
Yeah, and about Dominicans, it's always the same. It's they're black when it fits your narrative, but they're not black when it doesn't fit the narrative. A month ago, when B Simone made that thing, it was like, yeah, but DANI LEIGH is Dominican, so she's also black. And now in the comments you read, no, but she's white. She's not even Dominican. She's not even mixed or whatever. She's white. It's like, They love the BS in the US. Oh my lord, it's just so tiring. It's just, Dios mío, of all the problems of the world, of all the problems, like education, that shows. I'm sorry, I'm going to sound very arrogant, but that shows the educational system of some parts in the US. If you're worried about that, diablo. Damn. Dicen por aquí estas mujeres. Yeah. Dani and her team knew. Of course, they knew what they were doing. Of course. O sea, yo no me chupo el dedo. I do not believe at all that was just coincidence. I don't know if maybe it was not even for the ex or the baby mama of the baby rapper, whatever. She knew what she was doing, of course. That's clout. They do anything for clout. That's her job, to be trending, to be there, to be important, to be relevant, to have publicity. So, and also, I think that some people are reacting as if, and you guys please help me, as if the term or the concept yellow bone is only to describe a light-skinned Black American woman. I mean, like, I did not know that the term yellow bone was Black American exclusive, because let's make clear that light-skinned Black American people outside of the US are not seen as Black. They're seen as multi or biracial, whatever racial, as mixed person. They're not seen as Black. So, because only in the US existed the one-drop rule. So, Beyonce is not seen as a regular Black woman like who? Vivica, ¿cómo se llama? Vivica, the actress from the 19th, 2000s. I'm old. Gabrielle Union, that's a regular, it's just a Black girl, but Beyonce's not seen like that outside of the US. So, Kita Macho, welcome back, Macho. So, Macho, I was asking, why are people are reacting as if yellow bone is an exclusive word, like that only Black American people can use. It's like the N word or something. It's like, oh, no, you cannot use that, whatever. It's only for. I mean, like, that word or concept is used to describe light skin. Like,
I mean, in their terms, yeah. I mean, we don't use it.
No. We have a lot of descriptions.
Yeah.
But they're saying, the reaction is that as if only them can use that word. It's only for Black American.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's certain handicaps, like racial handicaps, I like to call it, where some people could say something where others don't, or others can't.
But yellow bone is not even a slur. I understand the N word being exclusive for them, but yellow bone is like light-skinned American women are not Black American women are not seen as Black outside of the US, because outside of the US the one-drop rule did not exist, or does not exist, has never existed. So, so you cannot use that word. It's just
no, yeah, I mean, and also the time, Paula, it's like back, when we were growing up, you could use it whenever you want, like, but now, as everything's so racially sensitive, I think you have to tread lightly with the terms you use now.
I mean, like, I just can't. I don't know, like, yeah, that's the time we're living now. I know, but you can't say anything. Ooh, that's so sensitive. I feel that we are in communist Cuba or China or Vietnam or whatever. We're living under a dictatorship. You can't say anything. It's like you get canceled. What's up, Moinies? What's up?
Wow, bro. You know what? Look, Moises Picard, I'm not going to say anything. He's such a troll. But, I respect the fact that he comes here and he supports Dominican channels. You're here, you support. I can't, hey, go on and hate. Go on and hate, my friend.
He will ask me questions. He always asks me questions. Macho, no coja la cuerda, mano, man. No. I always neutralize him because I'm nice. Sometimes I'm not as nice, but come on. He's always there. Y me conviene que él esté ahí. Yo te digo después por qué. Dominican Renaissance, Steven, ¿qué tú tienes que decir?
Creo que, ¿de qué hablan?
Yo te dije de Danny Leigh, de esto.
Danny LEIGH.
Danny
Okay.
Leigh. Danny Leigh. Es Danny Leigh. Yo creo que es Danny Leigh. De esto.
I don't even know. Like how to say it. But I mean that can't be her real name, right?
Cuando viene a ver se llama Daniela.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I don't think that's a real name, but that might be like her middle name or something like that.
Yeah, her.
I looked her up.
Daniela.
When she first came out, like she had little docs. She's Dominican from like Miami or something like that. I think her mom was actually part of the music industry for a long time, for like 20, 25 years.
I think she's second generation Dominican because she doesn't speak.
Yes,
Spanish.
second generation. She might be.
So.
Her mom worked in the music industry for a lot of years, so she has that inside.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Danny LEIGH for you.
Yeah, because I saw an interview of her at Alofoque a couple months ago, and I was actually very disappointed. She did not know Spanish. And
she doesn't know Spanish?
She doesn't speak Spanish.
Oh, snap.
They're like, yeah, her brother was translating everything. So she understood some things, but not really, she cannot have a conversation. To me, that's a bit, come on, you cannot say that you're French and you don't speak French. You cannot say you're German.
I agree with that.
That's
If
terrifying.
you cannot communicate with your people, then I'm sorry.
You know how many times I've heard Paula in New York when I go, I'm Spanish, and they don't speak Spanish.
What
Yeah.
the heck is that?
With
yeah,
it's common with certain Hispanics, but damn. Like even Dominicans who are like very Americanized, they still like can speak it, even if it's like broken to heck. Like they can still,
I have no problem when it's broken. I have truly no problem when it's broken. Come on.
I don't care. I mean, me da igual, pero like nothing. That's crazy.
Oh, look, Moises Picard made a great point. He said there's a video, right, that Danny LEIGH made with another rapper, Sweetie, something like that, right? So they were doing like cooking with their family thing. Yo, you don't know this girl don't know how to cut an onion?
Oh yeah, I saw that video.
And I left the comment. I was like, that was a bad look. I'm like, you're Latina, and that's what we're known for the the woman gets down in the kitchen, and you not to even know how to cut an onion. I was like, oh, that was a bad publicity look. I was like, whoever publicity is, gotta fire them. Cause
she was with her sister there. She was like, oh, I don't know how to do this.
I was like, oh my God, that was so bad. That was such a bad look.
Oh, come on. But I think the fact that she cannot communicate even worse, because you can still learn how to cook. You can still learn language, but still you will miss some sensitive things that only native people can understand. So I'm actually even happy when I hear some Dominican Americans, Dominican Yol, especially with a cibaeño accent. I actually love that.
No, porque la cosa es que
I like how it sounds. It's cute.
Yeah, it's funny. And it's funny too when people imitate our Spanish, it's the Cibao accent. Like, when they make fun of us, they always use the Cibao accent to make fun of us.
Yes, I know. Like, what the heck? I'm hearing some English, Cibaeño with English. I'm like, what the heck is this? So, but to me, they can even communicate with their own people, and that's important. But I always say, come on, like, communicate. We even actually bought a libro nacho. Do you remember? Did you grow up in the DR? Did you go to school?
Who, me? No, I'm 100% American, born and raised in New York City.
So you don't know El Libro Nacho? Okay.
No.
Okay, so I bought one for myself, or when I was a teenager, or I asked my father to send me a Libro Nacho, and I bought one for my or somebody from family for my niece, but not interested in that. So you can learn how to read and write better and all that stuff. And I always work hard to maintain my Dominican accent when I speak Spanish. So,
yes.
But I mean, like, you can speak with all the accents of the world, but you're still able to communicate. That's very, important. I wonder if when Danny LEIGH went back to her mother, if everybody was criticizing her for not knowing Spanish. She's not popular in the DR. People don't know her.
Yeah, people don't really follow her.
Is both her parents Dominican?
Yes, her both parents are Dominicans, and her mother lives in
Jeez.
Punta Cana, so they're living there.
Jeez. How does
Yeah.
that even happen?
Amor, mi amor, lo que yo quiero hacer. Oh my gosh, I dream about that as well. Actually, I would love to go to a campo or something.
Yeah, we need to prevent more
Ah,
Dominicans from like.
yeah.
Wait, Morena Reyes doesn't know what a Cibao accent is? It's like saying como la puerta, you know, you say
Wait,
like you say
you have
puerta,
En vez de la R, la
la
I.
puerta, you know, like
puerta. Pero también hay muchas
Mi
variaciones. There are
amor.
variations. Por ejemplo, verde, verde. Esa puerta
verde,
verde. You know,
verde,
verde. Sometimes you can just say the verde, verde, verde,
verde.
verde.
That is uniquely Cibaeño Dominican right there.
You know, like both of these guys are Cibaeños. So when they speak Spanish, and instead of hearing an R or an L, you hear a E, then that accent is Cibaeño. It's, you know, hey people, la
Sí, la careta and stuff. El people.
people.
That's funny. Like, I remember I learned Spanish. That was my first language. Then it changed to English, like in kindergarten. No, like in the second grade. And then I went to DR, and I didn't really know that much Spanish. So I went over there. All I learned was like the bad words. Like that's all they taught me and stuff. I know all the bad words. But for me to know Spanish, though, you know what helped me was living in a community where it was only Dominicans. You know, because if I would have grew up, let's say, in Michigan, you know, I probably wouldn't have spoken that much Spanish. I think, or been in my Dominicanness per se. But the fact that I grew up in a community that was mostly Dominicans, I was speaking Spanish basically every day. Even if I was with my friends, I'll still, have to go to the store. I would have to speak to my mom.
¿Cuánto cuesta?
Yeah, you run
¿Cuánto
the
cuesta?
street.
Yeah.
So it kept me within the culture. So that's why I still have some command of the language, of the Spanish language.
Really, you can learn the language if you only speak that language with your parents, because that used to happen here a lot. The Spanish-speaking communities are not huge at all. There is no neighborhood with only Spanish-speaking, except there in Brussels. There is a specific area, but that's only there. And you should speak Spanish with your family, your parents, your cousins, your nieces when you see them. So, but that's enough. You at least you know something. But our parents don't speak another language to us here. Morena, for example, Cubans say la puerta, que barbaridad. So the Cibaeños would say que barbaridad, que barbaridad, que barbaridad. Oh, cerrar la puerta, cerrar la puerta. They would say cerrar la puerta. Hey people, cerrar la puerta. And when you see them with a yellow shirt with
águilas,
like Cibaeños. You say all day.
I mean, they will tell you.
Yeah.
They'll tell you within 5 minutes of talking.
Yeah, yo soy la águila y tú.
I mean, I love that though. It's funny.
And yeah, they get really like Dominican baseball is like. Yeah, like it fell off a little bit the past 10 years because a lot of the major league players weren't playing in it. But like I remember when I was younger, all the Dominican baseball players would go there and play, and it was just like the stadium would be filled, and like people dancing. It was such a great environment.
Yeah.
I always wondered though about Dominican baseball, like why they never had their own professional teams where they're paying people, like the Japanese, like if you want a player from Japan, you got to pay like $5 million just to talk to them.
Because that's an investment. Those people don't make the investment. Dominican is like everyone on his like, oh, my money. I'm not putting my money on there. So you need to leave it before.
Dominicans have a very like relaxed mentality, not a very competitive mentality.
Yeah, we're too relaxed. We're too relaxed in everything.
Only a few of us think like that.
But as a people, we don't think about entrepreneurship. We don't think about like Americans. Conquistar el mundo. I'm not speaking about colonizing. I'm speaking about I have this concept.
I'll colonize.
On my nail polish, be sold in all the countries of the world. They think like that. We don't think like that. We think like, voy a poner mi tiendecita, me tengo mi dinerito, me compro mi jipeta, mi casa, y todo bien. We don't think about the long term. We don't, that doesn't exist with us. We're not able to plan people.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I think that could change. You know, you just need to change. That could definitely change from the next generation to the next generation. The generation after always corrects the one before.
Yes, it's true. Ese es un tópico, un tema. A mí siempre se me cae una vaina aquí, siempre, que yo quiero hablar contigo y con ustedes después. ¿Qué podemos hacer realmente para mejorarnos nosotros como dominicanos aquí, o sea, en el exterior, en el país y ese tipo de cosas? Y tú, Macho, estás en el same level de pensamiento y de ambición, ese tipo de cosas. O sea que nuevamente te hago formalmente la invitación que siempre que quieras discutir esos temas en el idioma que tú quieras, lo podemos hacer aquí en mi canal. Dominican Renaissance lo sabe, ¿ya?
Yo digo algo de Dominican Renaissance. Él tiene, mira, admiradores. Tiene unos admiradores.
Dominican Renaissance?
Yeah. Ahí, porque ayer Eddie fue. Eddie mencionó su nombre como 20 veces.
Oh, okay.
Loco, yo tengo fanática donde sea, loco.
I've noticed that.
De donde sea. Yo tenía, mira, en el principio, haters only. All those haters turned to fans.
Okay. Shout out to Leones del Escogido, mi tía. ¿Tú eres de la capital, Flor de Oro? Porque los Leones del Escogido de la capital y más de los riquitos, clase media. Los tigres, como los del
Morena Reyes said it. Cuban Spanish is vulgar and a bit rough. Yep. Yeah,
no.
Yeah. People think like Dominicans talk very like kind of like aggressive sometimes or fast. Cubans are like, mira, coño, tú no tienes cojones. Chico,
bueno, caballero, I think that sometimes people should say whatever, not you, Morena, but in the sense that when they are criticizing our Caribbean Spanish, the thing is, they're measuring it wrong because an educated Dominican doesn't speak properly. If you went to school or university, you speak properly. But the thing is, they're judging us. Que lo que manito ya tú sabes, estamos en teteo, huela, come on, that's ghetto. That's ghetto. It's like saying that Snoop Dogg speaks like all Americans. I mean, like Americans speak like Snoop Dogg. No, it's not.
Yeah. No, go ahead, Dominica.
Yeah. I was just saying, like, I think Dominicans, like, when they just speak like formal, regular, it sounds nice to me. It sounds nice. It's very like easy to the ear. It's like yeah.
If you hear my former videos that I made in Spanish, a couple of months ago about Dominican stuff, I put my my Dominican words and things, but I speak very properly, actually, with a proper Dominican accent. So many times I've heard that, and my mom as well, like, oh, you don't speak like a Dominican, because they always think that Dominicans speak like they are en un barrio de los Minas caliente full, en la 42 de vaina, del Capotillo, por ahí. I mean, like, what coño? I mean, like,
no, that's a minority thing. That's like a minority of Dominicans.
Yeah, like all Dominicans do. They tienen una juca, un esto, un aquello, all those stereotypes. I'm like, what the heck? And then I always answer with the stereotype back of those people. No, I think we Caribbeans, we speak very well when we speak well. However, when we are speaking our dialects, it's different. But all countries have that.
Yes.
Every country.
Exactly. And all countries have regionalism. Here in this country, super tiny country, you drive 15 minutes to another place and you have a different accent. Just different accent. I mean, like, how they make fun of each other, of course, but I hate when Dominicans themselves say, oh yeah, we speak actually so bad and wrong. No. When we speak our dialect, it's bad. When you hear the news anchors, they speak very proper. They speak, like neutral.
Yes.
Not neutral, but they speak properly.
When we're amongst ourselves, sometimes we just let loose, but when we're professional, we speak good Spanish.
exactly, professionals among with each other, they're like Rodriguez, da, 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 da. You know, they speak differently. So when you
Mm-hmm.
have a family there and they're professionals, they went to university and all that stuff, the way they speak with each other is very different. So when I hear all that stuff, yeah, Jamaican speaking like this and that, I'm like, she doesn't or he doesn't know anything. Right? You're all taught properly, but just to speak the lingo. Yes. Yes. Like I speak the lingo all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's like people in the South of America. They talk kind of like this, and they cut certain words and stuff like that. And it's really no different. It's just like a Spanish version of this. You know what I mean?
Alabama, the wife, not
Really
Alabama.
not that different.
Yeah. Ah, me da tres
Just
porque diga la
people.
gente de los mexicanos nuestros acentos. Yo lo paro en seco, yo también.
Yeah, me too. I'm very defensive when it comes to my my people and my nationality. Like I don't like people fucking around, because I don't fuck around with you, don't fuck around with me.
No joda, no me joda. Ahí hay un límite. Yo no estoy en broma, pero si en broma, la más tuya, sabroso, ¿no? Sí. Yeah. Again, it's what's there's two stereotypes there. Los stereotypes siempre.
So getting back to the topic.
Dire, mais ici en Belgique, la meilleure, les meilleures universités.
Paola, ¿qué universidad
Frequenté.
avez-vous fréquenté?
Sí.
Fréquenté.
I can say that. Actually, I can.
French is like that. French, Italian, and Spanish are like connected, and Portuguese a little bit. It's like you look and you could kind of read it and understand it.
Yeah,
The romantic language.
Yeah, the romantic. How you call it? La comprensión lectora, o sea, es más alta que la comprensión auditiva. I don't know.
I agree. Yeah.
The reading comprehension is. I mean, tú me entendiste.
Reading is easier than hearing.
Hearing, yes, because we speak on different tones. However, when you read, you can understand. It depends. In Portuguese, I guess our reading comprehension is 70 or 80%. In French, 60, something like that. Because we are a very lazy language. We don't have a lot of tones. We have same things, the same thing. It's lazy. It's lazy. That's why Portuguese speaking people, they understand us and we don't understand them. We truly need to get used to hear them. And in French is very complicated because it's very nasal. Voilà, quelle université avez-vous fréquenté? You're not going to understand that. You're not going to understand that. Or let me see if we have something more in French. No. It's different. Yeah, French is just complicated.
Yeah, I'm very Americanized, so I can pick up on stuff like that real easy,
Yeah, because like the better English is based on French. Like 50% of the words come from French or something like that in English.
Yeah, a lot of the words, yeah.
Not dedicated, but aggressively abrasive, loud, and animated. Yeah, we all the Caribbean people, we are just some loud.
Animated when we talk, yeah.
You guys want to know an interesting fact?
Go ahead.
A lot of Portuguese people moved to the Cibao region, and that's why they speak with the I.
Yeah, it's true. And the O. That's true. When I was a teenager and there were before YouTube, there were some documentaries on TV. I remember some friends say like, "Whoa, those people there speak like Portuguese." I was like, "What the heck are you talking about? That's Spanish. That's just regional Spanish from the DR. That's not Portuguese." And then one day, I was hearing Brazilian people speak in a song, and it was like lol, machucao. I was like, oh, that's Cibaeño. Then, oh my gosh, no, that's Portuguese. And I have that many times since then. And then I read, and that's of course like in the 16th or the 17th century, the majority of the Spanish people in El Cibao were from Portugal, but Portugal and Spain were still one kingdom nation, something like that. So many of those Spaniards were actually not Spaniards; they were Portuguese. Even Yeah, in the 17th century and all that stuff. So it was very curious to me. And also when I went to Portugal, in Porto, I went to a restaurant or different restaurants, and el sazón era muy parecido. I was like, what the heck is this? Because I know some Portuguese restaurants here, but and many Dominicans go there and they say, yeah, we have more or less the same sazon. But I was like, what the heck? With their everyday food, la habichuela, la habichuela negra, it's like, y el arroz así como con un poco más de ajo, o sea, lo de Ocoa y lo del sur también cocinan así. I was actually in shock. Like, it's the same seasoning.
That's what I say that on my channel. Like, if people just take the time to like pay attention, like we have a lot of similarities with Southern Europe.
It makes sense. You know, it makes sense.
I don't know why people try to.
And that's great that Paula, and that makes sense because you're from over there. You're European. You're Dominican European, so you could, clarify certain situations when it comes to the European influence in the Dominican Republic.
We have a lot. When people say, oh, no, it's not, it's like, come on, our culture is just like in everything we have the three influences, the native, the African, and also the Spanish one. When people say like, yeah, our food is African, our food is not only African, because plátanos is not the only thing we eat. Where do you think dulce de leche comes from? That every country has dulce de leche as well. Gofio, el gofio es canario. And many things as well. And the seasoning, sorry, that's not even African, that's Spanish. However, we eat a lot of African stuff, like esta vaina babosa que nadie le gusta, molondrone. That comes from Africa. Los plátanos comes from Africa.
But what if it comes from the Tainos, right? Because like,
yuca.
It could be from the Tainos.
Yuca, but it was imported or exported to Africa. Like yuca, they eat a lot of yuca, manioc, but that's not originally from them. Like el casabe. Oh my gosh, I saw a documentary about Haiti, and they were showing like the casabe thing. They also eat that, and they were saying that's typical Haitian. I was so mad. I was like, that's not typical Haitian. That's typical Indian, because all the other islands have that as well, and also the people, the indigenous people from the Amazon in Brazil, Venezuela, and all that stuff. They still make it the same way. So sometimes, like,
that's how I feel when people just feel when they start lying. That's when I start to get mad. Like, I'm like, wait, why do you have to lie? Like, to make a point. It's like, if they have to lie, then that has to tell you like they have some kind of like other like hidden agenda or something. Like,
yeah, exactly. I hate that, because in order to uplift one, you don't have to downplay the other, and we truly have those three things.
Yeah, we need more extensive history of the Dominican Republic. I think we have a general, but we need a kind of extensive, because
right.
Look, today I just learned that so you need to have an extensive so people can really see the picture.
Yeah, but I think many of us have that, some don't, and then other ones just don't choose to see it, especially those those crazy liberals, extreme liberals from CUNY and all that stuff. They
see it. They just, it's interesting how the Dominican liberal thinks. I always compare them to like the white liberal.
Yeah, definitely. But Morena says it's very interesting. They cook similar to Cuban, the Brazilians. Yes. Frijoles negros, o sea, la habichuela negra, el arroz, la forma de cocinar la carne. It's true. O sea, los cubanos comen más habichuela negra que nosotros, y los brasileños. And it's also very similar. And also the Black Afro culture from Brazilian and Cubans is more similar than ours to Cubans. Why? Because the majority of the Black ancestors of Cubans are from Nigeria, Yoruba, and the same with the Brazilians.
Wow.
So there you will find more similarities. So people will just say Black, African. It's all the same. No lo mismo. That's why some sounds, some things, and some food will be more similar from, will be more similar from Brazil and Cuba than Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, for instance. So yeah, I think that they just don't go in profundidad. They don't go just they just touch the superficial thing. and don't contextualize. That's my problem with them. But we have a lot of native things like
You know what they like to ignore?
what
All the dozens of like native words that we use in our everyday language.
every day. For example, I remember just like now when Morena Reyes did not understand what cacamancoa was. I was saying like, okay, I'm not like the most beautiful girl of the world, but I know I'm not a cacamancoa. And she was like, what the heck is cacam? I remember like that. I was like, she's Dominican. If you're Dominican, you know what cacamancoa means.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Yeah, my mom says certain words like, you know, like that. Like it's just strictly Dominican. It's not Spanish. But it sounds like, you know, from there, from the Dominican Republic. So like Jarabacoa, like you say Jarabacoa, that's a native.
Cacamancoa, yeah.
You know, Haiti, even Haiti is a native word. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think we really need to delve deep into Taino culture. I think that's one culture. You know, we know extensively about Europe. We know about Africa, I think, but we really don't know about the Tainos.
Yeah, we can't just like let it die out, because that's what it seems like. Like, you know, with the Afrocentrics, they just ignore like everything, and they just focus on like they're like to the point where they're like making things up right now as we
Yes.
speak. They're like making things up
Yeah.
because they're just grasping at straws.
Yeah, because they're in a racial battle against white people in America. So
Yeah. I understand the frustration that in the past, of course, the the people that write the history, the white elites, did not uplift our indigenous North African history roots, whatever, as high as the Spanish one. I understand that because it's true. It was like downplayed. It was shown. It was not hidden, but it was like it's not as important. The model you have to strive to be, or the civilization, the most important, the most beautiful thing is the Spanish/European one. The rest is like that's low class. It's not as important. It was not hidden. It's just like downplayed. So I understand that frustration. But in order to uplift this one, you don't have to downgrade the other because we
yes,
are
agree.
the result of those three things. That's what makes us. And also another thing that is that we don't see things as Spanish, native, African. What we should see it as Dominican.
But
Yeah.
you know why that is. You know the irony of what you just said.
What?
That's a very like European mentality, which you just described.
Como
And
así?
it's something that is, I don't know if it's unique to Dominicans, but like the fact that Dominicans can respect other cultures, to me says that like Dominicans are very like European minded.
We're very open-minded. I don't know if that's not European. That's just us, because Europeans are not always very open-minded. They're more open-minded in debates and everything, more than Americans.
European countries are the most
Than
open-minded.
Americans, many things
European countries are the most open-minded nations in the world.
in comparison. Yeah, politically speaking, yes. People here would say no, but if you compare them, yes, yes. Actually, it is. It depends.
Now point that out, people lose their freaking minds.
Not totally, but in comparison, yes. Yes. Flor de Oro. Actually, we're not really worried about what other people think about us. Actually, my personal my personal opinion is I am worried about what Dominicans themselves think. And I am worried, and I find it's really sad that many Dominican Americans specifically are being brainwashed. And that saddens me a lot. You know why? Because to me, they're having an identity crisis or depression, and they are looking validated by another community.
Right.
So it's like love. They're pick-me-shots. They're pick-me's in other communities. That's how I see them.
Right.
And that's a lack of loyalty. To me, those people are worse than traitors. You know, that's nothing, because in order to criticize our Dominican society, because I do that all the time, we all do that all the time, but we don't downplay ourselves. You know what I mean? Some
I hope we don't, but
comments like, I am Dominican, but I don't like my own people because blah, 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 blah. When I read that kind of thing, it's like, oh my gosh. And then they're going to say everything that other communities in the US say. We all know which community.
Yeah.
But, and to me, that's hurting. Not what the other ones say, but what the Dominicans say. To me, that's so hurting because, that's my people.
Of course.
That's a lack of loyalty.
Here's-
You can't throw your own people under the bus.
Yeah.
You cannot throw your own people under the bus.
I mean, like, en San Juan dicen que corta su falda, enseña su nalga. And to me, yo lo comparo, I compare that with someone that is screaming to their mother, ¿Qué está hablando usted, buena loca? If you're disrespecting your mother, don't expect other people to respect your own country. Disrespecting your mom. If you disrespect your mom,
It's like disrespecting. That is very true. That's a very good analogy.
Respect your mom. Mira, buena vieja, el diablo, ¿qué está hablando usted? Váyase de ahí. Pero si tú respetas a tu mamá y tú valoras a tu mamá, nadie se va a atrever a decirle buena vieja a tu mamá. O sea, it's true. O sea, tu país, tu patria, como tu mamá. O sea, podemos tener nuestro problema, pero vamos a solucionar eso entre nosotros. Tú no vas a hablar de que, coño, porque esa mamá mía, esa mujer una trágica, esa doña, blah, blah, blah. You don't do that.
Yeah, you don't do that.
You
don't air dirty laundry.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something that I love about Arab people. Arab people, okay, sometimes they go too far, but
you know what bothered me? Who's the little midget Dominican? Bio. Oh my god. I never found him funny. Like, I didn't find him amusing. I don't know how he got that famous.
Because he says,
who knows?
Hey, my, he says, that's it. He says the N-word.
And then not for nothing, I seen him a while, and now I'm like, he's going on these African American shows acting like a buffoon.
But
I don't find it funny. I'm like, yeah. Anyway.
To me, I mean, I don't find him really funny, but I'm glad for him because he's making some money, and he knows, like, like.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that is true.
That's he sees that as business. And he's an actor in the Dominican Republic. He has played in several films. So he's actually making he's exploiting his condition. He's like, okay.
That is true. He made the best situation out of it. That is very true. Very confident, young, old little man.
Old man. Más viejo que diablo que Matusalén. So that he's actually making, he's exploiting that, he's monetizing that, he's making the best of his situation. And if he can survive and help his family, then I applaud him. So I don't think it's very, especially funny. It's not my, my cup of tea. But, o sea, yo lo aplaudo, porque se está buscando su chelito. No le está haciendo nada mal, o sea, daño nada.
Do you guys know Carlos Duran?
Yes.
He is funny. I like his content.
No, su contenido está bien.
His older videos were funnier, but he's still funny,
No, él está bien. It's like, yeah. Él está bien, el popping. Antes yo me lo encontraba más funny.
Yeah, before he was he's funny. But now I don't know, he's changing like his content.
But he's older, so you have to explore more things. So I think that you're right. The other communities are the so-called pick me to put us on their struggles. Yeah, to make minorities look stupid.
Yeah,
so,
I agree, Morena.
That's why I always say. That's why I in one of my videos that I made, I said those pandering people are just making money of the struggle of their own people. Yesterday, I guess I said that, like, if there is no poverty, if people are going to say, oh, poverty, racism, whatever, and a ellos les conviene, they want that situation to be there because they're making money of that.
They make money off of it, those conditions.
they're being invited to talk about it. They're like intellectuals about that.
There's an old saying, Paula. You rather live in shit than grab a shovel.
You rather live in shit
than grab a shovel.
Oh
Meaning,
yeah.
like, you're so comfortable in those conditions that you won't, even bother like fixing the situation, because you're so comfortable living in a certain misery.
Okay, pero esas son la gente que viven ahí. But I'm talking about some people that are like the spokesperson of those, like, for example, many content creators or even Al Sharpton always talking about this.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, when
that kind of people,
racial politics, yes.
Yeah, that's one. Or others like
Jesse
always
Jackson,
the one
that lawyer Ben Crump, that's always there when there's a police shooting. He's right there.
Exactly, and the ones that are always talking Black American men are trash, or Black American women.
Yeah, that's true, and that's one thing I'm glad that in the Latin world sphere or Dominican sphere, we never got into Dominican men suck and like and then we go Dominican women and they're nothing, like they're gold diggers, like we don't get into those little. I'm glad that we're not in that sphere, because I think it's just two people bickering and arguing, and instead of trying to find solutions. And like in all reality, like love and relationships isn't that difficult. You people meet each other, they like each other, and they date. That's it.
But some people have this idea that it's like a dream. It's like, no, like you're making an agreement. It's kind of like a contract. You're gonna agree to like do certain things or try your best to do certain things, for as long as you can. And like, also it's like an immaturity nowadays where it's like people just like break up or get divorced over the littlest things, and it's like a serious decision that people take too lightly.
Yeah.
Misery loves company, yes. Entonces, what I mean is you have some, the ones that are always talking about the problematic with the baby mamas, the problematic with Black men, Black women, whatever, always talking about the problems, but never providing solutions.
No, never.
So, but they don't want solutions because they live of that problem. They live of talking about that. O sea, a ellos les conviene que eso no cambie, porque si cambia, ellos o sea, ¿qué van a cobrar? ¿Qué van a hacer ellos si eso cambia? ¿Qué contenido van a poner ahí?
Por eso digo que cosas así son distracciones que tenemos que dejar eso allí. ¿No me entiendes?
Sí, alejar de eso, sí, claro.
Yo antes, yo hablaba de cosas así, like, que yo veo en Estados Unidos, pero yo dije, mejor dejo eso tranquilo, vamos a enfocarnos en nosotros.
Sí, totalmente. I had also the same thing for years. I'm like, oh my gosh. Cuando yo vi a los dominicanos en eso, fue que dije, no, yo tengo que hacer algo. No lo hice. So, but, I started with my DR thing channel, and then I don't remember cuál outrage fue again contra los dominicanos, y me puse a hacer contenido en inglés, más para no have the attention of Dominican Yorks. In the sense, like, guys, you're distracting yourself too much.
Yes.
Things do not matter. And now I'm like, no, yo voy a continuar con mi contenido regular. Voy a hacer quizá este último, because, some Dominican Americans are going to be interested. But at the same time, it's so distracting. It's so distracting from our goals.
Yeah, the urbano, la música urbano, the urbanization of Hispanics.
I mean, like, macho. I did a social experiment, actually. My first video was a video reaction of El Lápiz contra Mozart. Y este video tiene más de 3,500 y pico de views. And that's my best video. The best engagement. O sea, uno tiene estadísticas cuando uno hace videos de YouTube. Son toditos chamaquitos. O sea, el target que yo quería, de 18 a 44 años. Entonces, es una cosa increíble que yo todavía todos los días, ese es mi mejor video. Eso, la gente está interesada en dembow.
I know how to top that one. You want to know the trick?
Yeah.
Do a DNA test reaction video.
Oh,
Yeah.
will argue my my ethnicity.
Yeah,
No.
do a Dominican DNA test video, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, that is true. I think I might have to do
and
that one too.
yeah, you're gonna
No,
have. That's what we all did before we start to get.
I am.
Or like if I put like am I do I consider myself black? And then you see my skin is like white, like oh my god, and I'm Dominican. Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh my god. I
I'm
could.
like, guys, I think last year or 2 years ago, I don't remember. That girl, she's also a YouTuber, DANI Perez. She makes actually videos, content for teenagers, that kind of things. She made a video about her DNA. I think she got 85% European.
Mm-hmm.
People were even worse than with Christina. Were like
Bashing
discussing
her. They were bashing her.
Yes, she only got, I think,
So
5.
she was saying what, that she considers herself black, like Afro
No,
Latina.
no, not at all. She was just saying, she was showing her DNA results. I think she has the highest European blood of all the videos that are out
Of the
there.
DNA results.
Like, people,
Mm.
Dios mío. Yo creo que ella quitó ese video. Una cosa fuerte. It's like
Yeah.
the media thing. I think we are a new chivo expiatorio de alguna comunidad en Estados Unidos. It's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
No, claro que sí.
Yeah.
Claro que sí. Así es.
That's why we
Pero
just
queremos
talk
que
here.
operar así, tú sabes, sabiendo que no tenemos muchos amigos.
Yeah, exactly. You know that. Like you're welcoming you, ellos quieren tu lado, todas tus cosas, pero cuando a ellos les conviene, cuando
Sí,
no,
claro, sí.
ustedes lo están viendo. Con la película de Zoe Saldaña, con cualquier cosa. No, son nuestros hermanos. Pero entonces, cuando tú no les convienes, te desechan.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to point this out. Zoe Saldana is part Haitian.
No, she's half Puerto Rican.
Trust me, she's part Haitian.
I wonder. Actually, many Dominicans have Haitian blood.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh, money.
But like, she's like directly like.
You think so? I don't think so. To have Puerto Rican.
I don't know. It's just when I find out.
Maybe I am. Maybe I have Portuguese blood. That's for sure. That I have Spanish blood, African blood, and Taino blood. That's for sure. I mean, I know my DNA.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, but that'll get you an audience. That'll
Yeah.
start your.
No, guys, come on. I don't care about that. Who's going to stay with my DNA material? Tú has pensado en esto. Then we will be linked with who God knows.
Have you ever had your blood drawn?
Sí, pero diferente.
Exactly. It's like, yeah.
It's the medical field. That's the most secure field. Your data is truly secured in the hospitals. But there's just private-owned companies that have your DNA material. I'm glad that,
oh wait, you're in Europe. Oh, hospitals here are like companies.
No. Hospitals here belong to the States. Oh yeah, but in the US everything is privatized.
They're like companies, yeah.
The prisons are privatized, are private companies as well. No.
Well, not all the prisons, but yeah, a good percentage.
Medical information, medical things, that's protected.
That's true. All that information is out there. It's you can't escape.
Yeah,
it's hard to escape and be like off the grid.
No, man. I mean, like, I'm glad that thing did not exist when I was 17 years old, because being 17 years old, knowing myself, I would have done it directly. But now, material, o sea, genético. Ajá. ¿Quién me asegura a mí lo que van a hacer con eso? ¿Quién lo destruye? Si es que lo destruyen. ¿Qué link de enfermedad, de no sé? No. Estuvo aquí. Encontramos, o sea, mira qué fácil.
Yeah, I mean that's just a suggestion,
No. How much percent blood I have, I do not know, Moise. However, I know it must be something like 10 or 12, maybe higher, because my mother, her family is from the south. It's from San Juan, and in San Juan we have a high Taino percentage. So you see on her and her family.
Yeah, I see. That's why I tell people I've seen a lot of native-looking Dominicans, like they look native.
We have that as well.
They have a distinct look.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
I've
is
seen it.
good. Yeah, actually, once I, yo tengo muchas anécdotas. The first time someone told me that was an Italian, guys, an Italian, an anthropology student who lived at the border. He was doing that, and I remember that was a Spanish, with flamenco and all that stuff party, and he was, that kind of hippie and all that stuff. And he told me that I was like, what the heck? I was a teenager, 16 or something, and at the time, I truly believed that the all the Tainos were blood. If we have some Taino blood, it's like 1 or 2%, and those that claim that are just like acomplejados, because that's what the people said that like they were extinguished. Um, we never explored that a lot.
Yeah, we haven't.
Yes, and that guy was like, no, no, no. Look at your bone structure, your eyes, your this and that. I was like, the tipo ta loco. I was annoyed
Mhm.
by that guy.
Yeah, I've had someone say that to a Puerto Rican guy. He's like, "Oh, did you know that some of Dominicans come from Tainos?" And I'm just looking at him like, "What?" Like when I was younger, like, "What? Like, what is he talking about? What's a Taino?"
Yeah, I was 15 or 16. I just remember like now, o sea, yo estaba sentada y todo. I was like, that guy, what the heck is he talking about? So, and then from there, it's like, okay. And then I discovered that man, Jorge Ceres, he just looked, Indian, Taino. He had a blog or something, and he was exploring the Taino heritage of the Dominican Republic. Not the government, he. And there
Hmm.
were many people, and some people even have 29%. 29, senor.
Mm.
And to
Hmm.
have 5%, that means, explain to me that 5 generations or 6 generations ago, someone should have been like a full thing. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's real. So we're not only cultural, we have Tainos, we also have that
Of
in our.
course.
Yeah, but like in school, we barely learned that. It's just like, okay, they were extinguished, and we just don't have that anymore. Maybe some people, 2 or 3%. And if anyone would talk about that on TV, I just remember that people would laugh them, they would mock them. O sea, se burlaban de ellos. Oh, they, oh, ha, 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 ha. I remember that because, and another thing that I had was in a party. Oh my God. Like, don't want to leave. So I was in a Dominican party, and there was a Dominican girl, and that's like maybe 10 or 12 years ago. There was a new Dominican girl that came to Belgium, and
Mm.
we were, like, yeah, well, but when is she coming? And then there was, she came with her girl. There was a black Dominican girl, and we thought she was an African girl because she had also African girls there and everything. And vamos a decir, María, pero ¿cuándo que la amiga tuya, que sé yo qué? Ah, pero ella. We were like, oh. And I remember a Portuguese girl who had lived in the in the Dominican Republic at the border. She was like, she's not Dominican, she's Haitian. I'm like, what the fuck?
Shots
I'm like,
fired.
you were like, I didn't dare to say that to some of us again. She was like, I live at the border, she's not Dominican, she's Haitian. And then I talked with her, she's talking to Dominican, and she was from where? Elias Peña.
Mm.
But she didn't look Dominican at all.
That's happened before. I
I've
mean,
seen
I've
that.
seen Latinos that look white, and then they speak Spanish to me.
Yeah.
I've seen Latinos that look, African, and then they speak Spanish. I've
Yeah.
seen, not for nothing, like Mexicans that look like natives. Like you see some Guatemaltecos, or they're like straight like from that movie Apocalypto.
Mhm.
They could be from that movie. Like
Yeah.
you know,
No, but
like
we,
so we
uh-huh.
have a very ancient culture in Latin America, and
Yeah.
very ancient culture. So I think it's something we should explore. I think the thing is about the Latino, which is makes us very distinct in historical terms, is that we have a whole lot of studying to do.
Yes.
Because we have to go to Europe, we have to go to Africa, we have to go to the kingdoms in the Americas before pre-Columbus. You have to study in order to group everything together. That's why I think the Latino can never really be just one thing. We have to open our minds and open our brains to learn everything. Learn different languages, learn 5, 6, 7 languages.
We are everything now.
Exactly. That's what, and Paula, you said it.
Mm.
That's the thing. We are everything now.
You're everything. But I
Come
think we're a dialogue is always good because I think going forward it's probably going to become more popular.
Mhm.
So I think
Yeah,
you
I
know
think those dialogues are good in order to move forward. Just like don't become people should not become emotional about that. Just like this is what happened and this is what it is. That's it. But some people just involve too much emotions on that. And of course, history is always you can interpret it from specific point of views.
Mhm.
For example, when the fall of the Shah in 1954 in Iran, that the UK and the US sponsored that. So, like for example, Winston Churchill is seen in Europe as the liberator. Oh my God, Winston Churchill was. Don't tell that to the Iranian people. That's when the destabilization of their country began. So for Iranian people, Winston Churchill is an MF. You
He's an
know,
MF to me.
you know, but not in the Western world. He was a hero. Um,
That's
well,
changing.
all those guys. So, but coming back to the thing de la muchacha haitiana, la vaina es que, o sea, pero no, que no puede ser. Entonces la tipa portuguesa que vive ahí dice, no, pero es haitiana, es haitiana, esa no es dominicana. To me, it was like, okay, someone who's European, Portuguese, and she could see the difference. And
hmm
she's married with a black American, dark skin, but you can see the difference.
It's easy. It's easy. Like 9 times out of 10, it's pretty easy to. It just you just feel something in your mind. Just go that like just like that's
Sometimes you can, but that's not a bad thing because if you say to a Congolese you look Rwandese, you will have a fight. Tell the princess, Princess, I think you look Rwandese, and you will see how she insults you. How she will insult you and your mother. So that's not a bad thing. It's like even if you have twins, you know the difference between your kids. You know the difference between your siblings. I have twin siblings, and I know the difference between them. It's not because you cannot see the difference that there is a difference, and that's not something bad. So, and I also heard once from there was a Black American, and he said like, yeah, you guys, he was a regular one here in Brussels, like you see the mixture, but still with you guys, there you see like the native something else that other people don't have. So some other people won't have. So there is a native thing. But to me, it was always very when I was a teenager very curious because we did not grow up with a Taino um,
consciousness.
consciousness exactly. It was more like Dominican and also a lot of African consciousness. So not consciousness in the sense of you're African, but that we always knew what was African influence. And when I hear those people say that we deny that, it's like, what the heck? We don't deny that. We are not African, but we have African influences in us, of course, in a lot of things. So, yeah, and again, cuando son dominicanos que se ponen a hablar plebe, esa vaina me cocina, me hierve la sangre. Más que el diablo. Cojo
Mm.
toda la pobre del mundo con eso. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I spoke to Dominican Renaissance before. Is that other people try to come in and dictate what you should think, and that's kind of disrespectful. It's very condescending. I feel people have a sort of like they want to come in, they want to like just, you know, taste our women, just kind of like, oh, what's your name, and not really get immersed in what we have to say and in our culture. I don't think people really care, about our culture and what we think. They only want to exploit the good stuff that we have to offer and then just, leave. So I think we have to appreciate ourselves. We have to appreciate ourselves. We have to up our value, and our value has to go up. And I think it is. I think it is. I think that's why you create a space where intelligent people get together, and when you do that, you spark something. You elevate.
Yeah.
You push the ceiling up a little higher up. So I feel like I think, and also too in the United States, Dominicans, and even Latinos, a lot of them are growing up in the suburbs. They're growing up in rich places now, so their mentality is not like como del barrio. Del barrio, del latino del barrio son 40, 50 años de edad. Del barrio de verdad. But the young kids now, like 20-year-olds, they're nerdy, tú sabes, están yendo a la escuela, están
Zoomers.
estudiando, son una generación diferente. So that gives me hope. I'm like, you know what? If I could speak to that generation, and I could lead them the right way, then the sky's the limit. Because I think I will invest in them and not the other crowd.
Exactly.
If I were to put my money, I were to bet on a pony, I'm gonna bet on that one, on that generation.
Sí, sí, ese es mi target también. Y gente, obviamente, porque tú tienes tus 30 años, ¿verdad que sí? Ya? O sea, no te voy a preguntar tanto, pero tú no eres un chamaquito de
No,
que
40.
¿Tú tienes 40 ya, macho?
Sí.
Coño, pero esa foto tuya de tus años.
nítido.
Yeah, that was 4 years ago. I was 36 there.
Coño, pero tú pareces más chamaquito ahí.
Sí.
Damn. Coño, macho.
Yeah.
Tú eres mi target todavía hasta 45.
Yeah, but I know, but you'll say, I see the forecast, like they like to say, I see the forecast. I see where we could trend and what target audience we could have to kind of further excel.
Estamos on the same level. Damn, o sea, 40 años y naciste en Nueva York. So, yeah, o sea, tú eras de lo que llegaba rompiendo República Dominicana. En el tiempo que los viajeros eran los viajeros.
Yeah, and it's funny, Lin-Manuel Miranda came out with the play In the Heights. Lin-Manuel Miranda, In the Heights. I saw the play too. It was who played the Dominican girl? Jordan Sparks. Jordan Sparks, that singer, Jordan Sparks, the R&B singer. Yeah. And it was about Washington Heights. And I remember just growing up there, like how Dominican it was. It was like our neighborhood. That's all I knew. Like, todos los restaurantes eran dominicanos. I didn't see a Mexican place. I didn't see BBQs. I didn't see Applebee's. No, it was just Dominican restaurants. It was just Dominican people. I went to a school where it was 98% Dominican.
Clinton High School.
No, George Washington High School.
George Washington High School.
In Clinton, there was a lot of Dominicans. JFK had a lot of Dominicans in the Bronx.
Yeah.
That's where all the Dominicans wanted to go.
Yeah.
Washington or Clinton?
Not Clinton.
Clinton in the Bronx, yeah. And also, too, in the Bronx, not Lehman. What's that other school that's good in baseball in the Bronx? Well, whatever. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, that little pocket right there is, when I'm growing up there, in Washington Heights, Dykeman, whatever, is just strictly Dominicans, and everyone spoke Spanish. Like, hardly no one spoke English.
Yeah, I know. The first time I went to New York, it was in 1999, and I had, I'm the type of person that likes to explore the world. I like to travel. And it was like, or Dominican Republic or New York, because you cannot go to 2 countries in 1 year. So I chose New York, and I felt a bit bad because I'm not going to see my father and my grandma. But still, I have to travel. I have to know the world. I cannot just go every time to the Dominican Republic. And I did not feel bad at all when I was in Washington Heights. I felt like, what the heck? ¿Qué es esto? La Juan Pablo Duarte. Pero yo estoy en República Dominicana.
It's crazy. Like, if you go to 181st Street, like on St. Nick, it's like you're in DR. Like, no, you're not in New York anymore.
I had a cultural shock.
Outside, the vendors, it's just,
yeah.
It was so freaking Dominican. It's like,
this is so ghetto.
Yeah, but the thing is, me personally, I love being Dominican, but I also like to try other cultures as well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like to stay in that real Dominican, but I really like to explore. I enjoy other Latin cultures as well. Yeah. Like, I love Colombian culture. I love Mexican culture. I love Cuban culture. So, and even in Europe, Spanish culture. I try to be open-minded, and also know that the world is really your pearls. It's an oyster.
Yeah.
This is your home. Everything here is your home.
Yeah. I like traveling. That's a European in me. Europeans like to travel. O sea, con eso que yo echan vaina, con viajes, not with big houses and big cars and all that stuff, the materialistic stuff. Ellos echan vaina con restaurantes, que si vinos, que no sé qué, que si se fueron a Malaysia, a Australia, al Machu Picchu, con ese tipo de cosas. So I like to travel, me too.
Sí, porque los europeos ellos como se concentran mucho en la cultura. Tú ves como ellos dejan los edificios que son, tú sabes, un poquito viejos, tienen sus años, No lo destruyen. Tú ves, en los Estados Unidos no, ellos lo destruyen de una vez para convertirlo a algo más nuevo.
No, aquí siempre que se hace eso, siempre hay una protesta, eso dura mucho. Es difícil, oh my gosh, no. Ay, no, y es un lío para cuando lo quieren renovar y así. I am that type of person that gets mad. O sea, donde yo estudié, en esa ciudad, es una ciudad medieval, una casa de 1400 y pico la tumbaron, dije, para renovarla, porque para construir otras nuevas, porque renovarla costaba mucho dinero. Y Dios mío, se va mucha cultura. Pero aquí como que hay mucha cultura, pero still, cuando hacen eso, o sea, hay mucha protesta de la gente, porque realmente ellos cuidan su patrimonio cultural. Sí. Yeah, and to come back to the topic, hybrid Viger says something interesting. She's DANI LEIGH is doing the same thing black women do on TikTok with their average white partners. I do have a TikTok. I downloaded it, but I do not use it. But yeah, they're showing their partner. Yes, the divest. I should make a video about that. She's light skin and saying the same thing, but regarding a black man. So, what's the same thing that you're doing? If you accept this, then we could never have any kind of sense of pride. That's the purpose. Yes, actually, yes. If you cannot say, yeah, Dominican girl is what he wants, the Brazilian girl is what he wants, the Mexican, it's like.
I would like to have a discussion, like the difference between Latinas in every country, like the way they are, the way they think.
Everyone is different. Like, even in one country, everyone
is totally different.
Thinking into boxes is, the human brain is like that. But I mean, like, in the Dominican Republic are different from regions, and in one family, I am very different to my siblings. They're different to me.
That's very true.
And we have commonalities. I was hearing. I need to hear more about the podcast, the video, the live that you guys had yesterday.
Yesterday. Oh my god, that was so funny. I was there. I was making jokes, but I got annoyed. But I saw the rebroadcast, and it was a really good show. I commend Fighter, Tina, and Mara to put on the show.
But I think the thing we all want more or less the same. The thing is, like, you begin with that, I guess. We want a provider. We want a man that can protect us. We want a man who's a good man, who's a hardworking man. We all want the same thing, and we want to level up. That's how we are raised, to level up. To be with someone equal or higher than you in terms of intelligence and economy and everything. So, I mean, like, si tú eres de un barrio, tú eres de un campo, tú no llegaste a ser ni siquiera bachiller, a ti te conviene estar con un universitario que sea o abogado o doctor y que no vive en el barrio. Tú no te vas a meter con el delincuente o el pasolero, right? I mean, that's just common sense. Tipo que sea bueno, que sea trabajador, que sea un hombre, que sea un macho. I mean, like, all women want that.
Yeah, I remember one time I wrote a poem. And I used to write poems back, when I was younger. And I wrote something about Latin women and how Latin women love dictators.
What? ¿Qué es lo último que te dijiste?
Que la mujer latina le gusta la dictadura.
La dictadura?
Sí.
No.
I wrote a poem. I wrote a poem about that.
You wrote a poem about that?
Yeah. One day I'm gonna dig through, my boxes or whatever, dig it up, and I'm gonna read it online. Or it was a poem saying how what Latin woman wants in a Latin man, like they, the dictator. Because if you think about it, we the past 100 years, el siglo entero, Latin America's been filled with dictators. So mentally and psychologically, we're used to seeing the strong man, the strong. We're used to seeing that image.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been conditioned in our brain. That's why even at DR with Trujillo, like how Trujillo brainwashed us, sort of, So I wrote a poem about that, how like Latinas love a strong, like, dictator type of man.
No dictatorship, hombre seguro, macho.
Pero the other side is not only the power, but the drama.
The drama, yes.
Tú sabes, porque la mujer latina le canta, tú sabes, la novela. They love novelas, they love escándalo, they love, tú sabes, they
Drama.
need that fire, that rage too, you know.
Sí, pero no tanto, porque eso es ya
No,
está.
yeah, you gotta control it because sometimes it gets out of control.
Yeah.
They don't like
It
too
gets out of
much
control when
drama.
people start killing each other and chopping each other up, like the Dominicans in the. That's another thing I think. Another topic I would like to say: femicide and in the DR.
Yeah, but
I would love to talk about that.
yes, but you know, we need a psychiatrist to talk about that because the thing is like when those men kill themselves, then there is a problem with them. O sea, los psiquiatras lo han dicho, no yo. Porque si no, tú no te vas a matar también. El problema es la violencia que tenemos en la sociedad. Poco dinero, que sí, esto, que sí, frustraciones, temor a que te dejen, a que te abandonen. Tú también invertiste un dinero en esa mujer, entonces tú crees que ella es tu propiedad. O sea, tú le das todo lo cuarto, o lo que tú crees, y ella se va, o no te trata bien, o se va con otro tigre, violencia, como una sociedad con violencia, lamentablemente, causada por la ignorancia, la falta de empleo y un poco también, en fin, cómo esta sociedad crea un monstruo y va, pum, feminicidio. Lamentablemente así, cuando tú la ves como objeto, ese tipo de cosas lamentablemente, o sea, pasa.
Yo creo que la cosa es también que el hombre latino es muy emocionante alguna vez.
Emocionante. Sí.
Cuando, tú sabes, la mujer le pega cuerno al hombre, se vuelve loco.
Porque él cree que tenía un objeto en la casa, no una mujer. Pero yo estoy segura que cuando él se vuelve loco, cuando la mujer que le pega cuerno, una mujer a quien él le está dando todo. Porque si un chamaquito que no le está dando nada a la mujer, que ella es incluso quien lo mantiene a él, yo no creo que la reacción fuera igual. Sino,
eso sí es verdad. Eso sí es verdad.
Porque el hombre cree, o sea, mi papá me crió así. Cuando él te está dando algo, él quiere algo para atrás, que tú eres su objeto. El hombre latino es muy machista, entonces tú tienes que tener lo tuyo, no soy una mantenida, no soy una come comida.
Sí.
A mí me criaron así, yo tener lo mío. Está con una gente bien, pero no hay que esperar que me vayan a mantener, no trabajar. Yo nunca he entendido esa mentalidad, pero de adulta, porque a mí no me criaron así, a mí me criaron ser profesional, tener mi cuarto, mi vaina, para no aguantarle vaina a nadie. O sea,
y así es, porque yo he visto muchas mujeres de las generaciones, tú sabes, más atrás, que no trabajaban, se quedan en la casa, después el hombre se va y se quedan solos.
Por eso, o sea, papi era el único varón y toda era hembra. Y después nació mi tío. And my father, he saw how women struggled. O sea, porque el príncipe era el mayor y el único varón. Entonces él veía esto en la sociedad, como pasaba, en la que siempre tenía que cocinar, que él sabía todo eso también. Pero era diferente. Y él veía como muchas mujeres aguantaban maltrato, pero no se podían ir, porque tenían 5 chamaquitos. No trabajaban o no sabían de letra, como dicen allá, no eran profesionales. Entonces, ¿qué? I remember my brother seeing everyone around. So to me, it was something common, or I mean, like, so when I hear women, yeah, que me mantén, o sea, no, this chappy culture from nowadays is something that is shocking and kind of new to me because I did not grow up like that. O sea, I'm not lying. O sea, en mi calle de allá es como que todas allá, o sea, que quedaron allá estudiaron, o sea, son chamaquitas trabajadoras y todos salieron del barrio. Entonces, esta cultura chapi, ¿de dónde viene? De pobreza también, pero...
Sí,
o sea,
la chapi, la cultura de chapi es como de la calle, tú ves, es como las muñecas de la mafia.
sí, pero
Algo
bueno,
así, tú sabes, es eso la chapi, tú sabes, esa
sí.
vida. Y ahora eso es como algo, tú sabes, la gente está tiene como esas ideas ahora en la mente, que es una vida para todo el mundo. Por eso no, eso es una sociedad. Pero no, ahora, eso es una palabra que ahora, eso está como, cuando están hablando de la dominicana, dicen chapi. Eso es una de las cosas que ellos dicen, oh, dominicana, chapi. Y eso querer eliminar también, yo creo también, porque sí, tú puedes, ¿cómo se dice? Tú sabes decir chistes, oh, chapi, esto, pero a la misma vez tú estás llamando a esa mujer una prostituta casi.
there are different definitions actually. The definition that I usually know, una tipa que está atrás de lo suyo, ella no está en sentimiento. Like she wants someone who takes care of her. It's just, I don't know, hay tantas versiones, todo el mundo da una propia definición. To me, it's just the girl that doesn't want to work and she looks good. She looks good. She knows, that's a commodity. Her beauty is a commodity. And she wants to be mantenida por un tipo and she doesn't care how he gets his money. Not usually be mantenida by just a bodeguero, hardworking man, but usually by someone que está metido en negocios turbios, más o menos. So, una tipa que está con el tipo, no lo quiere, pero quiere su beneficio. Más, esa es mi definición. O sea, me pueden haber más. So, thank you, Blood Moon, that you say that my lives are peaceful. Thank you. La gente aquí es más tranquila, lo que vienen aquí. Son pocos y son tranquilos. Yeah. Oh, you were 17 when you graduated. Qué bien. Morena. I'm reading all those comments. You tried to join the Marines. Ooh. Pero no había aquello entonces. The Bronx is mostly Dominicans now. All schools have Dominicans. Yes. Really? Someone to get. Déjame leer en orden un poquito.
So,
Ghetto High School.
I love Miami and that area, the whole South Florida area, because you get to see Hispanics from upper class.
Yeah.
With money.
Yeah.
Whereas in New York, you don't really see that too much, or New Jersey. I mean, you kind of see it, but not as prominent as like in Miami, where it's just people living in suburbs. These kids grow up in the mansions, suburbs, so it's two different types of cultures, I would say. I really like Miami. The first time I ever been there was, I think, 2002. And I was like, wow. I was like, because I saw the movie Scarface, Tony Montana. That's another thing. That's whole nother topic, how that movie derailed Hispanics back 20 years.
I wanted to make a movie, o sea, reseñas de películas. And that's one of them. You can make that, Macho, please.
Yeah, I won't want to do that, because I wrote a thesis on Latinos in the media in Hollywood, and I wrote a thesis paper on that, so I could definitely break some stuff down historically, how Latinos have been portrayed in the media.
Latinos, but that movie has inspired so many minorities. Like, they don't say
Scarface.
Tony Montana. I mean, like, all minorities here in Belgium, I'm like, that guy was a loser. No, he can't respect.
He was a loser. He was.
Like, how?
Yeah, people didn't get the gist of the story, like what the story really meant. They just saw how great Al Pacino was in that role. He was. All
the money he got and all the respect he won. I'm like, you just don't get it.
Yeah, you don't get it.
You have some of that kind of movies that people just don't get it. I mean, like, no, it was a great movie, but no, as I said, you don't want that. And the same happened with con la serie El Cartel de los Sapos.
Oh, El Cartel de los Sapos.
Yeah, 2008, I saw it on YouTube. El Cartel de los Sapos. The first narco thing.
Yeah, the narco cinema, which is the past 10 years has exploded from Colombia. The Colombia cinema scene.
Yeah, Muñeca de la Mafia también. I was like,
El Capo, Pablo Escobar.
Yeah. Blood Moon, I congratulate you. O sea, que comenzaste en la universidad a los 26. Yo creo que ya tú estabas casada o tenía hijos, no sé. Muy bien. Muy, I applaud that. So we need to talk about that movie and other movies. I also want to make a review about The Color Purple. I need to watch the movie again. That's actually my
Yeah, I've never seen it before.
Oh, that movie is amazing. My favorite movie, actually.
Really?
Yeah, because at least I saw that movie being a kid and a teenager. And it was amazing to me in the sense of Porque yo me acuerdo de mi papá. You know, I have a lot of memories with my father watching movies, and it was like, para que tú veas que tiene que aprender, que tiene que hacerte profesional, porque si no, mira cómo muchos hombres tratan a las mujeres. You know,
So yeah, it's very true.
yeah. So to people, Black American people, that movie is more about, you know, some problems in their community, sexual abuse, all kind of abuse, and all that stuff. I get it, but to me, the message was more like, when you empower yourself with education and you go for it and you believe in yourself, nadie te para. So eso fue what I got. So yeah. So tenemos que hablar de una cuanta película, macho, please. We need to make content together.
Yeah, I agree. I think you know, this is just kind of we need to show like a full aspect of our culture. You know, I think it's very narrow-minded, even from within our own. I think we really have to open like everything, you know, and just show other, you know, show information other people didn't really know. Like today, I learned about the Portuguese and the Cibao, you know, so you know, stuff like that. I think could really, you know, improve us, you know. Because what we're trying to really find, you know, just because it's culture and politics, is how to fix the Latino problem. You know, which goes to countries, it goes to politics, it goes to economy, it goes to culture. You know, what can we do in order to fix that? Yeah.
You can't do a lot. You need to have those conversations and provide solutions.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
Hablar solamente de problema.
Yeah,
Nada.
And that's the thing. I don't like Univision and Telemundo, because I feel like, especially they know the demographic of immigrants and people, you know, people, you know, I would say 55 and over, Latinas. So they sit at home, they watch how much crime is being committed. They don't want to step out their house, and it's, you know, and it's always about immigration. Like, I think the first Latino problem we have is always immigration. It's nothing else. That needs to change. I think we need to concentrate more on successful Hispanics in the United States, young entrepreneurs that are coming up that are Hispanic in the United States, and also in the Dominican Republic. Like, what, you know, I would like to see if there's a scientific community in the Dominican, science and tech in the Dominican Republic by Dominicans. And I think we need to open up that space.
Yeah.
You know, so people could be more interested in going into those sectors instead of doing dembo records.
Exactly. I gave Dominican Renaissance an idea about that kind of things, because yo tengo unas cuantas ideas en mi cabecita. We could discuss those ideas. I have some, you know, new, o sea, fintech ideas. Yo soy mala implementando. Yo no tengo tampoco ese dinero, ese tiempo, y ese conocimiento de ser developer and all that stuff. But I would be glad if some Dominicans would, o sea, create a lot of
more.
solutions.
We would like, I remember 20 years ago, there was a young, vibrant Dominican kind of filmmaking in the Manhattan area, in the New York area. And there's a big famous Latino film festival actually in New York, Latino Film Festival. And you know, that it was getting kind of artsy, you know, but I don't know what happened. I think we lost it. I think we went more into the music, into the reggaeton and the dembow and stuff like that. Going forward in this decade, I want to go back to those roots of art, a real art, you know, and expression, and you know, science, math, you know, just
yeah, we need that.
Yeah, we have to make learning fun. You know, my father always said, right? He hated rap music. I remember I had a Tupac poster. He tore it down. I was like, he tore it down. He's like, and he said, why don't these rappers rap about biology so all these kids could get A's? I was like, and I was mad when he ripped it down, but I was like, he's right.
Yeah, no, yes. El papi era, eso sí se aprenden ustedes, pero no se aprenden en la clase, no se aprenden en eso.
Mira, muchacho, págame esa vaina, muchacho.
Esa vaina.
Para esa música, you know. Yeah. Those are my parents. My parents didn't grow up listening to rap music. You know, they're from the old generation Dominicans. You know,
yeah.
So you know, their generation, like is a totally different generation. So,
Yeah.
so going forward, yeah, I want people to think of Dominicans with our
More,
brand,
more,
because
more people.
being Dominican is a brand. It's like Trump. Trump is a brand. Dominican, Puerto Rican is a brand. Those are all brands. We
Yeah.
have to remake and reshape our brand going forward.
Yeah, totally. I'm here for it. When you said that at Fighters Live, I felt that because it was like, oh my gosh, al fin. O sea, yo estoy.
No, sí, estoy harto de alguna, y es mi culpa algunas veces, pero ya como hay demasiado de eso. Like, we need an avenue, a unique avenue where people can be like, wow, this is interesting. We need to
Yeah,
create unique kind of angles,
that we don't talk about stupid, topics, and that we focus on real things that matter. Entrepreneurship, IT, just technology, providing solutions.
Yeah,
We're
definitely.
not just like, oh, they dancing merengue, bachata con una maldita juca y tigueraje. Esa vaina a mí me quilla, mano. Eso a mí me quilla, ¿no?
And that's the thing. That's how the Dominican culture has changed. And that's, I think, the frustration with, like, let's say, a Dominican Renaissance. I would say even El Chivo. I mean, he's another case. But
Yeah,
I
el
think,
chivo no tiene problema. O sea,
yeah. You could tell the way he is. He's not all there.
no.
But I think what people's frustration with Dominican is where it's going. And it's going to the streets. It's going to the gutter.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get worse as a country. It's like a car going up the hill. It's like what is it? What's that song that Juan Luis Guerra had? Bicicleta en Niagara.
Niagara en bicicleta.
Niagara en bicicleta. It's that. Eso es.
No estamos jodiendo.
Exactly. Let's switch the tide. And let it go forward.
Mira el nivel. El Niagara en bicicleta. No estamos jodiendo.
No, y así es la cultura. Nosotros queremos que como proteger la cultura y también enseñar buenos ejemplos de nuestra cultura para cambiar el mundo. Vamos a cambiar el mundo. Gente, estamos en una época, en una situación ahora que todo ha cambiado.
Es única. Mira, tú estás por allá en Gringolandia, yo aquí en Bélgica, y nos estamos
Comunicando, sí. Imagínate.
Todo el mundo ahí. Y mira,
hace 2 años nadie pensaba que esto iba a pasar.
O sea,
estamos en una situación muy, muy especial, yo creo. Hay mucha gente que está en la casa, están mirando media, están en YouTube. Mucha gente está comunicando como nosotros estamos comunicando.
Nosotros trabajando con un podcast por el día entero.
Sí, así es. Mucha gente lo están haciendo, pero yo quiero, cuando la gente viene a mi avenida de dominicanidad, va a ser una avenida limpia, sana y educada.
Bien. We're here for that, macho. Muy bien, muy bien. Es una buena iniciativa para comenzar, conchale, a tener Dominican Spaces o sea, cada vez más con buen contenido y con soluciones y con cambiar la narrativa, nuestra imagen para nosotros mismos en primer lugar también. Y sí, hay que como que crear entre nosotros mismos también conciencia, porque, o sea, yo no tengo de qué realmente soluciones, no sé qué, tengo muchas cuestionantes, muchas preguntas, y que a mí me gustaría entre nosotros, no outsiders, entre nosotros, qué diantre podemos hacer, qué está pasando y cómo podemos mejorar. Y yo creo que, yo estoy convencida, y es porque es así, tenemos mucho potencial donde quiera que estamos. La vaina es que nos dejamos de distraer demasiado fácil por todo. Sí. Copiamos todo lo malo. Donde sea que estamos, copiando lo malo que estamos en general. Y esa vaina.
Sí, porque es una cultura de calle. Yo creo que, y eso que yo estaba hablando, que el dominicano en los Estados Unidos, no sé en la República Dominicana, pero en los Estados Unidos estamos superando, estamos ganando más dinero, estamos comprando casas ahora. Yo soy un amigo que jugué pelota, compró una casa por casi $2 millones.
Diablo.
Sí, un abogado en Nueva York.
Diablo.
Eso es que ahora los niños de él no están, tú sabes, en ese can.
Jamás.
Y eso, that's the demographic we have to go after.
Yeah, está muy bien eso.
The ones that are old, that are stuck in their ways. Es como yendo como al barrio, como tú te criaste en el barrio, yo me crié en el barrio, y tú te mueves, tú compras casa y tú estás, tú sabes, en los montes. Y tú vas para atrás, tú vas a ver la misma gente que tú has visto, Y tú te vas a quedar ahí hablando con él, ¿no? Tú dices, hola, ¿cómo estás? Bye.
Yeah. Sí. Pero también uno no puede culpar tanto a nuestros padres porque acuérdate que ellos fueron a buscar un mejor futuro para nosotros.
No, sí.
Es diferente ayer creo yo que estaba hablando de esto aquí, que la migración o emigración dominicana a Estados Unidos o al mundo es diferente que la emigración cubana, que fue la clase media alta, que ya tenía dinero, que tenía relaciones, que tenía conocimiento. A esa gente más fácil perder todo y de nuevo ganar todo, ser upper class de nuevo. Nosotros no, porque si tu papá, o sea, tus padres o son analfabetos o apenas terminaron la escuela o do not really have some skills, que venden con dulce en la calle y así te mantienen, o sea, te mandan a la universidad y construyen una casa en Dominicana. O sea, ellos comenzaron desde cero, hicieron una plataforma y tú comienzas como hijo desde 5. Pero lo que vinieron ricos, o quizá perdieron todo, ellos no comienzan desde cero, ellos comienzan desde 50. O sea que, obviamente que nuestros padres van a estar en una situación más precaria que otros emigrantes y que nosotros vamos a estar más adelantados que ellos. Ellos no se quedaron atrás por culpa de ellos, sino porque tenían que trabajar para darnos a nosotros lo mejor. You know what I mean?
Sí, era de una diferente época también.
Sí, totalmente. O sea, ahora
diferente época, claro que sí.
Nosotros tenemos también más oportunidades porque tenemos lo más importante que es el conocimiento.
Por el problema, Paula, déjame decirte algo. Yo soy un hombre de 40 años, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Yo quiero dar un buen ejemplo a la juventud. Yo me crié en un barrio que yo veía, tú sabes, yo veía a los hombres mayor y eran borrachos, estaban en la calle jugando dominó, estaban, tú sabes, vacilando. Yo quiero ser, tú sabes, yo no quiero que cuando yo veo el dominicano, yo veo eso nomás. Yo creo que el dominicano de ahora vea a la gente que va con esas empresas, ideas para cambiar el mundo, las ciencias. Necesitamos a ir a esas áreas y hacer esos temas como algo bacano y que la juventud quiere como participar.
Yo en estos días escuché una rutina de humor del mañanero, Ariel Santana, búscala, que dice profesional as to movie, para que los muchachos vean, o sea, que porque todo el mundo ya quiere ser dembocero, rapero o lo que sea, como que para que se inspiren y sean abogados.
Sí. Y eso nosotros necesitamos. Yo vi una película, de del afroamericano, Before Civil Rights, antes de Civil Rights. Y era un libro que le decía donde estaban todos los negocios afroamericanos en el país, o los hoteles, los restaurantes, los baños, porque todo estaba, tú sabes, separado en ese tiempo, de blanco y negro.
The Miseducation of the Negro?
No, The Green Book. Ellos tenían algo así. Era como los Yellow Pages, almost. Tú sabes como los Yellow Pages. Era así, que tenían todos los números, pero ellos tenían su propio.
Ok.
En ese tiempo, como los 40, 50, ¿verdad? Yo creo que es una idea genial que nosotros, mundialmente, queremos que saber a dónde está cualquier dominicano con empresas, viviendas, real estate. Así, un libro o algo para conectar el mundo entero. Porque ahora estamos viviendo en un mundo global. Como los dominicanos creen que están en todos los lados del país para el país ser rico, yo creo.
Sí. Eso es una excelente idea y eso es realmente el digitalizar lo que los árabes siempre han hecho. En todos los países que hay árabes, ellos, o sea, especialmente los de Siria, Palestina, Libia, Jordania, ellos tienen sus clubes. En República Dominicana, Santo Domingo, está el Centro Sirio Palestino, no sé qué. En todos los países que ellos están existen. Y el dominicano surgió porque ellos querían ser, o sea, pertenecer al country club. Eso era en los años 20 o los 30. Sí. Pero obviamente que la upper class dominicana no quería eso, come cebolla, ay Dios, esos igualados, que lo que tienen aquí es una generación. Esa gente, porque lo discriminaban mucho, señores.
A los árabes.
Ellos hicieron, está bien, vamos a hacer nuestro. Y si tú tienes que saber que ellos en cada país tienen eso. y se contactan para hacer negocio. O sea, el grupo sirio palestino, lo que sea, que está en México, tiene contacto con los descendientes de árabes, que ya son 5 o 6 generaciones árabes, que realmente no son árabes allá, para hacer negocio. Eso ellos lo hacen. Buscar clientes, buscar esto, vamos a decir el nombre, porque tú sabes, de otra religión.
Sí, los amigos nosotros. Los amigos
del mundo hacen lo mismo y es muy inteligente. Yo creo que el problema con nosotros es uno, que le decía creo yo ayer a Morena, es bueno, nuestra emigración no es muy skilled, no es muy high skilled, y la que son high skilled muchas veces como que se aíslan del resto de los dominicanos, no quieren o sea, no quieren ser asociados con su propio pueblo, como que tienen una vaina, un coso como que, ay no, esa sí, esa no, como que, ay no pertenece a mi nivel, pero quizás si es hecho de manera digital, puede ser más importante, o sea, como que, ¿quién es esta? O sea, un grupo dominicano, el grupo de whatever dominicano, que ya tú sabes, o sea, ¿qué te puede hacer? Yo tenía una idea, pero es diferente también, de, por ejemplo, eso quizás existe en Estados Unidos, es una idea de startup, que es, por ejemplo, tener una plataforma donde ahí tú vas a buscar la información de plomero, de lo que arreglan la calefacción, la gente que arregla todas las cosas que a ti se te parte a último, es más, los tigres que pintan,
sí.
lo que sea que hagan con la mano, que se necesita electricidad, ese tipo de cosas. La cosa que tú no puedes arreglar en tu casa. Una plataforma, así como Airbnb o lo que sea, y que tú puedes decir de mi casa 5 kilómetros alrededor, donde tú puedas ver el rating y donde tú puedas ver los reviews que le dejan. Para eso se necesita un developer. Y esa idea me llegó a mí el año pasado, cuando se nos dañó una vaina que tuvimos que pagarle como 1.200 euros a un tigre que arregla la calefacción.
Sí.
Y yo, diablo, si yo supiera, o sea, porque es un dineral que cobro, que no viene a ver gente está más barata, pero si una gente está ahí ya a las 12 de la noche o a la 1. Dime, como que tú tenés esa plataforma y donde tú buscas, necesito, se me dañó tal cosa, electricita, en el Bronx, a 5 kilómetros de aquí.
Como Uber, o como haciendo delivery de comida.
Exactly, de tal.
Un servicio de una vez, de 24 horas.
Exacto. Aquí eso no existe. No existe. Yo creo que eso sería muy interesante.
Bueno, sí, porque también mucho, tú sabes, como mucha gente que son hispanos aquí, trabajan con las manos, que hacen esos trabajos, pueden ganar más dinero también al lado.
Sí.
Como tener otra, tú sabes, otra manera. Yo creo que hay algo así. Pero eso es otra cosa también de latino, de este país y los Estados Unidos, el impacto que el latino tiene, es que nosotros estamos construyendo todo. Todo el edificio que tú ves son los hispanos.
Ok, el dominicano, el haitiano y
hasta las casas aquí, las renovamos casas, el landscaping, son toditos hispanos.
Roofing, ese tipo de cosas.
Roofing, todo.
Roofing.
Diciendo, ¿tú sabes por qué es bueno, Paula? Que el hombre latino sabe a construir su propia casa.
Sí. Sí, es manitas.
Sí.
El latino es manitas. O sea, sabe todas sus cosas. Sí, eso es muy manitas, eso es cierto. Sí. Totalmente. Pues sí, yo creo que tener un website así, un Uber o lo que sea, un Airbnb, lo que sea, de ese tipo de cosas, donde tú vayas a buscar esa persona o ese tipo de información, es una idea ya de startup. Yo tengo unas cuantas enlistadas. Dominican Real Estate ya tiene 2 mías. Tan. Porque para idea, búsquenme a mí. So much of that es una cosa que podemos discutir.
Sí. Un website así para. Yo creo que sí, queremos que explotar nuestros talentos. Pues hay que explotar nuestros talentos para hacer
porque lo hagan otros muchachos, porque realmente a mí no me importa quién lo haga, siempre cuando sea alguien de mi país, porque, o sea, si le va bien a un dominicano, a mí me va bien, encuentro yo.
Sí, no, así es.
¿Tú me entiendes?
No, así es. Y así tenemos que pensar.
Claro, no vaya todo. Porque si, por ejemplo, cuando tú vives en el exterior, tú siempre eres, yo siempre lo he dicho así, un embajador, porque a ti no te ven como a Macho, a mí no me ven solamente como a Paula, a mí me ven dominicana, a ti te ven como dominicano.
Claro.
Y la buena o la mala reputación que tú tengas se le pega al resto.
El de país.
La experiencia que alguien
Claro
no
que sí.
haya tenido contigo, buena o mala, se le pega a todos los dominicanos. So, yo quiero tener realmente o sea, que tengamos la reputación de gente pensantes, de emprendedores y que estamos resolviéndole problemas al mundo. Eso, realmente yo quiero eso, porque ahora es el momento. Si China pudo, no que nosotros vamos a poder, pero por lo menos es una inspiración.
Sí, pues chico, tú sabes, si tú ves China es un país pobre hace 100 años.
Ellos decayeron, pero ellos también tenían su cultura.
Sí, su cultura, sí. Y mataron, tú sabes, millones para llegar como ellos están aquí. I don't want to do it that way. I don't want to do it.
No, obviamente no vale la pena. Pero
Yo no sé. Que porque la cosa del dominicano y latino no tenemos la sangre fría, sí. Como nosotros somos, I would say, the nicest people on earth.
I'd say it depends on the type of Hispanic. If we look at history, right?
Wow. All right. You've been quiet, DR, man. Go on.
No, I was just saying because like it depends on the kind of Hispanic. That's all.
Well, I mean, we're givers, though, DRN. I think Latinos are givers. You know, mostly. We're not takers. You know, we're not conquerors. You know.
Yeah, señora, aquí Blood Moon, no, we're not conquerors at all. We don't impose things. We are more the kind of people that we adapt ourselves
I think we should though.
Yeah, it's not enough, actually. We're more people like, okay, I'm coming to your system, to your house. I will adapt to the rules of your house. We're not people that goes to other countries or other people's house. Hey, I want this way. We don't impose things. We're not.
I mean, DRN, but we kind of not imposing, but the Latino in the United States. I mean, Spanish is a second language, so our presence is heavily known. But we never came here. Like we never had an agenda set down. It's like how are we going to take over America? Like we never
Bro,
done that. You know, we came here just to look for opportunity.
I feel like, so this is just my opinion, but I feel like when Hispanics have this conversation about like Hispanic influence in the United States, I can't help but think that we're not even in the conversation because we're like 3.5%.
Yeah, we're a minority
In the U.S.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, DRN in the Northeast though, like Washington Heights is the capital epicenter of Hispanic or Dominican kind of heritage. You know, like it's that one spot that's heavily Hispanic in the Northeast. So we've made our presence known worldwide. You know, through media, through our baseball players. You know, different types of stuff. You know, the community. You know, people know when they go to New York. You know, that's our enclave. You know, so we've made our impact on. Yeah, we're not like the Mexicans. The Mexicans, I think, take up maybe 75%. You know, but we've made our impact known already, even though we're small. But we made our impact known. You know.
Yeah, actually, for being a very small country, we are making huge impact. However, I guess I do understand what Dominican Renaissance means in the sense that we need to have our own lane and not just clump together with the other Latin Americans, as we are a small percentage of that large group, and we are mostly accumulated in New York. So it's like, okay, we are there, we're making impact, but it was too small. Eso es lo que tú crees.
Yes.
We need to expand. I just feel like I don't feel like a part of like this big like Hispanic thing because like I said, we're a small, group. Even, with Cubans, I think they don't feel like a part of it either.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. They're sort of like separatists in that sense.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys were paying attention on Twitter, like 4 weeks ago, there was the Dominican girl that was trending because she said something about Hispanics and like there was like a lot of like other Hispanics. I saw mainly Mexicans who were like, being like racist or whatever.
Mhm.
Because I guess they thought she was like a Black American.
Mhm.
So they were saying all kinds of like, oh, like cotton picker, like all kinds of stuff.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I just feel like when the media talks about Dominicans and the way they talk about Mexicans is very different. The way they talk about
Yeah.
Cubans is very different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
I
do
don't
agree
feel
with that.
like it's like all one
Grouped together.
team. Yeah.
Great point, DRN. Great. Also, like the Salvadorians, the like Argentinians. Like it's very true. We're alike, but we're very different at the same time.
Yeah, so we have commonalities, but we are very different, all of us. We are under the same roof for some things, and then we need to have our own agenda because everyone has their own agenda.
Exactly. We're our own. We're our own. people.
Yeah,
We're our own tribe.
Yeah, we are our own group. You're very small, but there's only a couple of us.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, yeah, what you got? Estamos juntos, pana, sí, pero mi hermano va primero, o sea, primero Dios, después tú. No, yo no soy religiosa. Primero tu hermano que tu primo, right? So we need to have our own agendas. Guys, Bloodman made a very interesting comment. Dominicans, they invest in the art, though, and sometimes it's a waste of time. What do you think about that?
I think that it's I've heard investment in the Dominican Republic is very tricky. I think in the international diary of investments in foreign countries, I think Dominican Republic was in the bottom 10 because it's very shady. You're dealing with shady people. Shady contractors, shady the permits. And that's the thing. We have to repair that image. We have to. If you want great foreign investment, not just tourism and real estate by the beach, but real good money in the country. We have to repair our business, our way of doing and conducting business.
I think there is a difference between international investment and private person / Dominican investment, because we are one, of the most important countries of the region because we are politically stable.
Yes.
Very corrupt, but you have a lot of
That's why people visit our island.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of external foreign investment. Like, for example, in La Capital, this mall. Oh my God, diablo, se me olvidó. El mall donde está la Cartier. No, no. Oh, this mall, I forgot. I forgot the name of that mall. That's Venezuelan. Tenemos muchas, o sea, hay inversiones dominicanas que tú estás allá y tú ves, pero eso no es de dominicano, eso es de
extranjeros.
So, important people. The thing is, I do agree with Moon is if we just as a private person.
Sí, queremos que a poner un grupo y fondos para comprar la tierra en la República Dominicana, yo creo. Y comprarlo ahora.
Yeah.
Normalmente 30 años que tú sabes, todo ha cambiado, pero necesitamos comprar la tierra ahora.
Because, ¿cómo te digo? Cuando es uno como persona, siempre hay un gato entre macuto, mayormente. Tú tienes que estar mucho tiempo allá para ver quién es quién y si te engañan o no. Another thing, when you have a business there, you have to be there because I've met people here in Belgium, Dominicans as well, que ponían un negocio allá. O sea, todo, turco, congoleño, gente de Senegal que ponían un negocio en su país y no lo atendía el hermano, el primo, el diablo, y le iba mal. Y, por ejemplo, yo conozco una gente que ha puesto un liquor store con su mejor amigo de siempre y el tipo lo que se ve bien. That kind of things. So a lot of people may invest in small businesses, pero como tú no estás vendiendo tu cartón.
Doesn't mean it's gonna turn out good. Just because you start a business doesn't mean it's gonna you're gonna make money.
Sometimes I'm like, come on, there is so many opportunities in the sense, for example, the majority of, o sea, tengo que tener cuidado con lo que digo, pero la mayoría de la gente que está en el exterior tiene una casa ya, tiene algo. una choza tiene por lo menos. Y tú no vives en esa choza. Y no siempre tu mamá o tu abuela que se vive en esa choza, ¿verdad? Hay un primo, un tío, quien sabe que podría hacerse cargo de rentar eso, hasta con Airbnb que sea. O el carro que alguien tiene ya en su país, alguien que se ocupe de drive con Uber y ganarse unos cuantos pesos. El problema es que nunca son como que muy sinceros, muy claros. O sea, te van a matar si lo rentan. O van a decir, no, que esa persona no quiere pagar. Siempre un lío. Le rentan de un apartamento a una gente y dura un año sin pagar. Ay, no, esa gente no quiere pagar y se cogen el dinero. Pero yo creo si alguien allá en Dominicana quiere ser un poco serio y tiene, por ejemplo, vive en la capital y tiene 5 personas en Nueva York o en Europa, donde sea, y que esos 5 tíos tienen un apartamentico en Dominicana. O sea, administrar eso. You know what I mean? Y como que algo, si alguien tiene un carro, él no tiene problemas, son Uber driving. Pero obviamente comprar la gasolina, cuidar el carro y ganarse algo él, pero darle lo que le corresponde al tío que tiene el carro allá. O sea, hoy en día con internet hay muchas oportunidades.
Sí, muchas oportunidades, claro que sí.
Muchas oportunidades. I mean, like how much less on my last life, people just want to become rich without working hard.
Oh yes. I saw I couldn't make it that live, but I left a comment too, and it's true. It's that's why the Kardashians are so rich and famous. You know,
Why?
you want to know why?
Why?
Because it gives the illusion that they don't work, but they're so rich.
Those girls are very hard working.
Right. Now they are because now they have an empire, so they're gonna have to do more work. Pero reality TV or the concept of reality TV is like you're just there making money. You get what I'm saying? They don't have a certain skill, you know. They're just filming you and you're making money, you know. So, and they're living lavish, you know. They're driving the best cars, they're flying, you know, luxury jets, you know, living the high life by not really doing much, not having a skill per se, you know.
Yeah,
so it's that illusion of being rich without working hard.
Actually, they're working, Macho. The thing is that they have to travel to go to Paris.
Yes.
Actually, you're not con pico y pala, porque están trabajando.
Pero claro que sí, porque moviéndose, claro, trabajando, pero que yo estoy diciendo que it looks like a get rich scheme. Like it looks like I'm living a luxury life and I'm just, you know, makeup on me and like, you know, this glamour life, and I'm getting paid to do it. You know, Paula, be honest. If they told me right now, all right, here's a contract, $20 million. All we gotta do is film you, eat food, travel.
¿Dónde? No le
Exactly. You know, it's that life of leisure but making money. You know, but that's not realistic. Get rich schemes aren't realistic at all. It's chip by chip. It's almost you every time you get a value or you get an amount, you try to double it. You try to double it. You try to double it. You know, and you slowly get there. You know, not you know, it happens. Don't get me wrong. You saw the Wolf of Wall Street. You know, but those are very minimal kind of like you have to be built a certain way to make that type of money. Like you got to be almost like a psychopath. You know, like.
No, you have to be a very smart business person.
Yes, very smart businessman. That's true. But you have to be sort of a sociopath as well. Because if it's a scheme, it's a cheat. It's like you're cheating, right? When you're scheming on someone, you're cheating. You know, so those get rich schemes on the internet, especially what they do is like they rent out the hottest car, the hottest mansion. They'll get someone there just to speak good to you and say, oh, do this, do that. I'm holding a seminar. You know,
right.
Exactly. So it kind of reminds me too of the gym industry, the what do you call it, the fitness industry. How on YouTube you have fitness personalities, and they live, you know, in the nice house with the car, you know, they got the perfect, you know, body and stuff. They're selling a lifestyle, you know, and I think that's what the get rich people do. They sell a lifestyle more than telling you really how to get, you know, how to make more money, you know.
Exactly. The Kardashians, that's what they're doing. They were rich to start with, like Bloodman
Yeah,
said.
yeah, they were rich. The father
They're,
was
they
hallelujah.
are selling what TV does.
The
So,
lifestyle. They're selling the lifestyle.
illusion, a dream.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dream.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my gosh, wow, this and that. I mean, all those mansions they buy. I don't think they buy. Maybe they do. They buy them just not in cash, but they pay everything off. But those things are investments. That's an investment because that becomes part of your brand. You're investing in something expensive. So your next contract will be also expensive, or you're attracting expensive luxury things to you. It's not very very interesting to just buy a small apartment in a regular part. No, it has to be lavish. And that's what attracts people. That's what people, o sea, eso despierta morbo, curiosidad. People become curious, some jealous, and some feel inspired. I want to be like him, whatever. And they are also selling sex, as Bloodman says, of course. Este morbo, like all those pictures, when they're being photographed, they're working. But I mean, that, la gente le cae atrás a eso. So that's what they're selling, and it's working, and they're very influential, actually.
Yeah.
And they're still there. That's the thing
Yeah.
that I do not understand.
It was funny. I went to a diner and there was these young girls like in the next table, and they were talking just like the Kardashians. So like, what are we doing today? And then look like that whole California Valley talk. I was like, oh, these are the Kardashian. These are the work of the Kardashians. Yeah. So basically, that's my theory of get rich schemes. Is just you just sell a lifestyle,
Okay. Morena, you pissed off your mother when you said you were Dominican? Dios mío, I'm like, no le estoy poniendo casi atención a los comentarios, qué vaina. The treasure pimp is a smart one, la mamá. Made them, sí, the mom manager, esa mujer.
Kris Jenner.
Esa doña, wow. Esa doña, exactly, like it was the brains behind it all. No, la doña hay que dársela. Hay que reconocerle ese talento que tiene. Porque, wow, o sea, de ningún talento hacer todos esos millones, todos esos contratos.
Pero, you know who was the executive producer of the show when it first came out?
No.
Ryan Seacrest.
No sé quién es.
You don't know who? Oh, yeah, you're in Belgium.
Pardon my ignorance. No sé quién es.
What other shows has he done? Well, he's like remember you know who Dick Clark was? Dick Clark. He was like a host, like just a very popular host. So he executive produced the Kardashians.
Yo lo conocía. No, yo no conozco mucho, pero en fin, sí, dime, continúa diciéndome.
Yeah, so I forgot what I was saying. I'm like, what are we talking about?
You're talking about Ryan something. Dick Clark.
Yeah. So the Kardashians are very influential.
Yeah.
I agree with that. The mom, she exploited those girls up to, to fortune and fame. I can never do that. I can't pimp out my own family like that. I can't do that.
It's true. Ella me lo decía, pero hay que, o sea, besides that, es el business.
Yeah, she's very business savvy.
Talento es lo que yo hablo. So, como
marketing. She's a great marketer.
Exactly. La doña sabe eso. Es, yes, it has to do with money, a blood one. Es como que el talento o sea, que esta mujer te puede vende tierra en el desierto y le vende hielo a los esquimos. Bueno, esquimos no se puede decir. En fin, en el Polo Norte ella va a vender hielo. O sea, ese talento. I'm only judging that. Neto, bueno, es adulta, sus hijas también. Pero es fuerte. I mean, like, doing something like that and succeeding at something like that every time again. Bueno, esa bebé tiene como 10 años, ¿no? Se fue mal.
Hello? Hello? Oh, wow, she left?
Oh man, I think it's a Wi-Fi. Like sometimes she gets cut off. You know.
Yeah. Oh, she's back.
Y que se fue Macho y me fui yo.
No, estoy aquí. Voy a buscar algo de comer.
Bueno, vamos a dejar esto entonces. So, yeah, porque esta Kardashian vaina tiene como 10 años.
Ujú.
Bueno, mujeres y hombres, gracias por joining in Dominican Renaissance. Dime, ¿tú quieres decir algo, otra cosa que está tú silencioso como siempre?
No, not really.
All right.
All right, but
yeah.
the Danny LEIGH, you don't have nothing to say about that Dominican Renaissance? Like how she got burned by African Americans?
I guess I really don't care.
Okay, me too. I don't care neither, but you know that was a topic.
Yeah. But I wanted to make a video about that. Como que diablo, man, ustedes sí son brutos.
Sí.
O sea, de tanta vaina en este mundo, preocuparse por eso.
Yeah, like Dominicans and racial politics. That's, you know, hey, if someone can make money off of it, go ahead, do it, because that's easy. That's an easy buck.
Es la manera de hacerlo. Y hay muchas dominicanas jovencitas, content creators, que han hecho unos cuantos views de eso. Yo ni le doy el view.
Oh my
siempre God. Hablando the truth about Dominican Republic. Yo sé yo qué, que los haitianos, que siempre los coloridos, que no sé qué. Y siempre hablan un disparate que yo digo, ¿pero dónde? Oh, no, que mi abuela me dijo que yo no me podía casar con un hombre negro. Like, pero tú misma abuela se casó con un negro. ¿Y qué fue?
Sí, claro que sí.
Like, my mother said never bring a black man home. It's like, what? Los padres de nosotros no se meten en eso, siempre cuando el tipo no sea un tigre. Ellos te dicen quiénes te convienen, pero al mismo tiempo, it's like.
But why is that a big deal?
Sorry?
Why is every other culture does that, but
exactly.
Why is it a big deal?
Actually, we're the most relaxed culture that I know. You know why?
When I hear people say things like that, I'm just like, okay, like.
I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, ay, no me traigan tal cosa. Si te dicen eso en Nueva York, no me traigan un Mi amor, es porque tu mamá quiere que tú traigas un tigre con más dinero, con mejor reputación, con más educación, con más esto. Coño, como que. I mean, like, que hacen un big deal de muchísimas cosas y trashing Dominican, o sea, tu propia cultura, eso como que le da views y a ellas no les interesa. Eso a mí me da mucha tristeza. It's really sad. So.
Oh, thank you, Morena. Morena Reyes said this was a great live.
Yeah. Thank you, Morena and Flor de Oro.
Flor de Oro, Blood Moon. The loyals, they're always there supporting.
Yeah, man. Esos mis pilares.
You know. Xtina was here, she left somewhere.
La primera, porque por Cristina que lo conozco a ustedes. Ayer estaba en el live uno de mis primeros subscribers, cuando yo no tenía ni siquiera 50 y hacía contenido en español, porque muchos se me fueron.
Oh,
americanas odian las latinas porque sus hombres las prefieren a ellas. Yeah.
Sí, es verdad. Es que la latina tiene un sensual, una sexualidad que viene natural.
Diferente.
Exactly.
Sí,
that's another thing, Paula. Another discussion we can have is what makes Latinas sexy. You know, porque la gente cree, oh, it's the language. Oh, they're wearing bikini. And I'm like, no, it's not that. It's like a certain touch, the way they talk, the way they look at you, the way they walk. You know, it's a certain way of being that's sexy, not just, oh, you're wearing half naked clothes, you're sexy. No, it's a certain way of being. So I think that would be a good conversation.
Sí, podemos tener esa. Yo sé porque depende de cuál. Una es muy femenina, la mujer latinoamericana es muy femenina, sabe que es mujer y que ella no compite con el hombre. O sea, el hombre tiene su lugar, ella tiene el de ella y ella va a estar al lado del hombre, no competir con él. Eso es una. Y segunda, cuando son fresh out of the boat, ellas son más femeninas ahora. Es la verdad. Es la verdad. Eso se nota. Se nota en Nueva York y se nota aquí. Esta vino ahora, eso tiene 2 o 3 años aquí, o esta creció o se crió aquí. Se nota la diferencia, la que vienen de esas sociedades más pobres, que son más femeninas y que también se te inculca eso en la casa. o sea, saben ser mujer, como me dijo Kyle, un gringo una vez de Nueva York, aquí en México. They know how to be women. No es que sean más bonitas, no sé, pero they know how to be women. Eso es, saben comportar. O sea, llevarse, ve que son mujeres. Al hombre le gusta esa vaina.
Sí, es verdad, es verdad.
Hay una cosa que a mí me intriga de los hombres, y es, al hombre le encanta ver a la mujer con vestidos y falda.
Yeah, it's what I think it is. I think it's because Hispanic women, since we're talking about Hispanic women, kind of represent like old Europe, like before, you know, it changed. I think that's why
You think so?
it just comes easier. Yeah.
¿Cómo
I
fue?
think
Yeah, I think so. Those old traditions. We're very traditional. We
Sí.
we hold traditions.
Yes, también el hecho que uno no está peleando en público con su marido, porque uno tiene, you know, we don't do that. Normalmente es como que podemos diferir, pero no delante de la gente. O sea, yo no jamás voy a hacer quedar mal a mi marido. O sea, uno no hace eso. En la casa se dice, mujer el diablo, ¿qué fue lo que tú dijiste ahí? No sé qué. Pero en la calle, you don't embarrass him, you don't disrespect him. So, o sea, tú le das tu lugar de hombre y él te da tu lugar de mujer. Y o sea, se complementan. Y yo creo que eso es lo que esas culturas ven. Que tú te dediques a tu macho. Eso es lo que hace a la mujer latina como que apetecible para muchos hombres y que es sensual, se sabe vestir y que tampoco hay muchas que no somos de que la más graciada, pero tampoco somos una cacamancoa, o sea, dime, tenemos cuerpo, tenemos todo.
Sí, porque sí, eso es que nuestra cultura es muy masculino y femenina, la mía es.
Sí, también, por ejemplo, aquí en la europea también le gustan mucho los latinos, porque son como, son más...
Those guys are going to Latin America because Latin America represents old Europe. So they want Europe, they just want old Europe.
Old Europe. Hey, o sea, en el sentido
I mean, that's a generalization, but I think you know what I mean.
I know what you mean in terms of the values, the old values.
The old value. You gotta preserve those. Yeah, you have to pass tradition from generation to generation.
I know what you mean, porque yo he escuchado esa cosa. Sí. De nuevo, la feminidad, que son esas mujeres que cocinan, que dicen, no, pues yo hice tal cosa, o sea que ahora te toca a ti tal cosa. Yo fregué, entonces tú tienes que secar. I know. Sí, un poco. I mean, like, it makes sense lo que tú dices. Y también a las mujeres de aquí les gustan mucho esos tigres de allá, en el sentido, la presencia masculina fuerte de una persona que va a proteger. O sea, no digo que va a pelear, pero que en caso de, o sea que una...
En principios.
Sí, una figura como que machista, dominante, pero no al extremo, sino dominante, un hombre. Que hay no un títere que está en un palomo, sino un hombre. Sí. Y eso también llama mucho la atención. Y también que la mayoría no, o sea, no, hay muchos feos también, pero que tienen lo suyo, tienen su miedo. Tienen su miedo. It's self-hate, dice Bloodman, las mujeres que piensan, o sea, que critican a DANI, yo también, yo dije lo mismo, que tienen complejos, and they're projecting their insecurity and low self-esteem on her. Porque, o sea, a mí no me puede molestar una canción que dice, You are my African queen. The girl. ¿Cómo diablo? Dime.
Es como si un country singer say, You are my white queen. Ahí dicen, Oh my God, my white queen.
America would explode.
Yeah, like that's so strong.
Señora, ustedes se imaginan nosotros teniendo esta conversación de que llegó tu marido, negra, tu negro querido. Yeah. ¿Y por qué no tu blanquito querido? No tu inglesito, you know? So for us, it's not really a conversation. Pero en fin, esas mujeres están frustradas y como quieras, si tu marido o el novio, quien sea, se siente atraído por otra persona, ese problema no es tuyo, eso es él, and you cannot change that. Porque hay tipos, yo tengo un amigo mío que no le gusta la China para nada, o sea, una china no se puede sentir mal porque no le gusta. Yo en la universidad estudiaba con un japonés, que exchange student, que a él no le gustaban las asiáticas. O sea que asiáticas eran kawaii, eran cute, pero no eran sexy.
Sí. I understand. Yeah, I understand.
Yo, ¿quién es sexy? Me dice, oh, tú, Elisa, Sofía, ustedes son sexy. Éramos tres de diferentes razas. Son sexy. Y digo, pero ¿y este tipo? Entonces, la asiática no, las asiáticas son bonitas, sí, pero como que ya, eso es todo. Y yo me reí y yo no entendí, pero es él, o sea, una asiática no puede cambiar su parecer, su gusto. O sea, you cannot, you know, like, yeah. Here is the Blood Moon. Do you guys watch on the news the man who beat this woman in the eye? No. ¿Quién murió aquí en los ojos? ¿No será? Their heritage is cool. Blood Moon, me imagino. Tú no quieres saber de ellos. Ay, te entiendo, imagínate. En ese tiempo era más fuerte todavía, I guess, ¿no? Who beat who in the eye?
What the hell?
Yeah, someone's watching New York news right now.
Okay, I'll tell them. No, thank you for an answer. Oh, Macho, Morena te dice algo.
Macho, that is what that Moreno did not understand yesterday when Maceo was speaking with Tina and her sister. It goes both ways con el hombre latino. Okay, Morena, I'm a little confused.
We're not watching too much to the comment, lamentablemente. Las N, o sea, no puesto tanta atención hoy. Yo creo que era cuando estábamos hablando ahorita del comportamiento entre hombre y mujer latina, creo yo. Sí, Cristina. Yo no vi, todavía no he visto esa parte del live que ustedes tuvieron ayer. You're not all bad, you know, just not attracted to them, yeah. Sí, cultura diferente. No, mixed race girls who speak a different language. Yeah. Como que también al hombre le gusta la cosa diferente. ¿Qué tú dices?
I don't think it's because they want. I mean, maybe some of them, right? But what I really think is that they're looking for it, because like white Europeans are like, they don't view race as like other groups, you know. So like Europeans, I don't even know. It's hard to describe what I'm trying to say.
No, ellos ven raza, obviamente, pero ellos no están obsesionados con la raza. Ellos ven.
Yeah, they're not obsessed with other races because they're comfortable in their own like skin, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like they look at like culture and race, like not just race. So I don't think it's like, oh, they're just going to like Latin America because, you know, they're mixed race. I think it's because a lot of Latin American countries represent like the Europe of the past still, because like a lot of that culture and traditions have been maintained, while like New Europe has kind of changed. You know, it's like more liberal.
I second you on the fact that they want more traditional values, but I don't think that in their head they're searching for European values. You know,
I think they're not aware of it. I'm
they're
just
not
like,
aware of it.
yeah, that's what I think they're not aware of it, but that's what, like that, I don't know, that's what I think. That's just my opinion. It's not like some scientific like fact or anything. That's just like what I think.
With you on the older values, on you know, but they're not aware, or you know, they're not looking consciously like I want old European values, and I will find them in the, you know, in the Western or even or in Asia. I do think they do want those values back. You know, women to be women, all that kind of stuff. That's one. Two, if it's for men, I don't think they're looking for mixed race. They want mixed race babies so bad because men don't even think about that. Men don't fetishize children. Like, I want my children to look like this or to look like that.
Yeah, we don't do that.
That doesn't exist for men. I mean, like, I don't know any men in the world. De ninguna raza, religión, ni nada. That's more a women thing. I know white European women, muchísimo, that, o sea, they want mixed race babies, yes. They want, the brown babies because they're so cute and beautiful. So the same thing that you see on social media about, the fetishizing of mixed babies in the US by whatever, by different cultures, the same thing happens here in Belgium or in Europe by European women, not men. Men don't care about that. Women, they want, those brown babies because they're prettier than those white babies. Yeah. Yes. That's what they say, So yes, that's one. And they want, both they want, some exotic people. People that they
Yes.
look good. Brown people, tan people look good in their eyes. They're more beautiful. They're more, exciting and something to discover. The other ones are like, like just regular people. So they like that. And it's just an adventure, something new. Yeah, many of them, not all, but many of them like that. So it's a new world for them. Those people are also usually more adventurous than the rest. The ones that like to step out of their comfort zone and are also more open-minded than the rest. So yeah, but the women are the ones that fetishize children, not men. The women like, like the macho thing, el hombre fuerte, artista, que baila, que es funny, que vive la vida, que es apasionado. Muy importante, tenemos mucho más. Y los hombres buscan una mujer bonita también y que tenga más hijos, o sea, que le guste vivir la vida. Es como lo mismo, es lo mismo. Sino ellos encuentran que los hombres europeos han perdido tal cosa y los otros encuentran que las mujeres europeas han perdido tal cosa. Y lo buscan en otras culturas, pero tampoco es que son todas. Eso, ¿Qué dice aquí? Paul is always lost in my comments. I meant the men wanting lighter girls. Yes, lo gringo, vaina. Eso sí, yo creo que sí, eso sí. Eso es un mejorar la raza, pero sin decirlo de manera explícita. O sea, cuando siempre no están relajando, hay que mejorar la raza, siempre la misma vaina que viene. They're doing the same thing, actually, but they're not putting a name on it. The art needs to stop comparing Latin America to Europe. Start there.
How could I stop doing that when, like, I don't know. I just feel like it's like I don't know. What, Latin America is like indigenous? Is that like is that how you view Latin America, as like an indigenous society?
No, it's mixed societies, and all the mixes were different because our mixes, like Cuban, Dominicans, and Boricua, is generally more or less the same. Not everything is the same because we don't really have Nigerian blood, and the Cubans have that a lot. But the miscigenación, the mixture there is different than, I don't know, Bolivia or Peru.
Sí.
So there is everywhere mixture, but different stories. But of course, we all have Spanish, Portuguese, whatever European components, but also African, Native, and everything. So that's a common thing, but we're all unique. Y sí, Bloodman, we have a lot of, no, crea que no, nosotros tenemos muchísima influencia española. Muchísima.
No, claro que sí.
Esto es innegable.
I think the
Claro que sí.
Caribbean has
No, nada, pero tenemos mucho. Cuando ustedes vayan a España, es más específicamente al sur, ustedes van a ver el diablo. O sea, como que wow. O sea, no que todo, obviamente, pero tenemos mucho.
Mucho en común, claro.
Mucho. Y con los canarios
también. Los canarios.
O sea, son españoles también, las Islas Canarias, y el acento de ellos es totalmente diferente. Es el acento caribeño, y el venezolano también, en general, está influenciado por el acento canario, y es raro, porque tú comienzas a escucharlo, y tú crees, hay un boricua hablando bien, entonces como que baja a Venezuela, y después como que sube a Dominicana, cuando ellos hacen énfasis en las palabras. Si no, tú no vas a estar, es como si estuvieran hablando como nosotros, porque nosotros hacemos todo énfasis. Pues tú vas a votar esto. Pues They do that also. Es como que te confunde. That's Shakespeare. Like,
Oh, wow.
it's like, me está hablando, o sea, es como que Venezuela, o sea, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, República Dominicana, como que te estaba así. Como que un dominicano está hablando bien,
Sí.
no, o sea, un dominicano medio, o sea, popi, una gente que fue a la escuela, que está poniendo las S, o sea, que aspiran las S, que pone la R y la L donde van. Un boricua que no está poniendo la L donde quiera. Es algo muy raro cuando tú escuchas un canario, porque tú escuchas como que 4 acentos en uno.
Wow.
Es una cosa increíble. O sea, 4 acentos, o sea, yo no sé explicarlo, pero cuando si algún día tú vas a Canarias o conoces gente de Canarias, yo estoy segura que tú vas a tener la misma sensación. Pero en el sur sí hay mucha influencia, o sea, de todos los lugares, pero... Y por ejemplo, nosotros tenemos mucha influencia congoleña, donde la princess. Si nosotros somos fuertes en show off, estos son los más fuertes del mundo. O sea, tenemos, o sea, nombres, por ejemplo, de Katanga, un barrio en Dominicana, una región en el Congo. Muchísimas, ahora se me fueron. En Gombe, hay un lugar donde hubo esclavos africanos ahí en la capital.
Uh-huh.
Como un palacio, una cosa, en Gombe. No me recuerdo qué significa eso, pero una palabra del Congo. Tenemos muchísimas palabras, o sea, palabra bambamba. Uh-huh. Ese tipo de cosas que usamos, que siempre tienen M y B, mucha mondongo, vienen de esa. O sea, que el Congo, la vaina.
El mofongo.
Mofongo, no sé si viene de esa religión, pero suena igual. Quizás de Senegal, pero puede ser que sea del Congo. Muchísimas matamba es un nombre también de esa región. ¿Y qué más? Pero tenemos mucho también, o sea, influencia de donde quiera. Somos las tres, que somos
sí,
todos.
Somos las tres. Nosotros queremos que estudiar los tres igualmente.
Sí, algunos salió más de esto y el otro salió con más de aquello, pero tenemos los tres y somos todos lo mismo. Que es lo importante, no hacer entre nosotros ya esa diferencia. Porque lo último que no lo último, que ya lo he visto, de que yo soy afrodominicana, afrotaíno y todo. Ahorita vamos a tener Euro Dominican.
Sí, Euro, ajá. Eso que yo digo, eso viene.
Euro Dominican.
Euro, you know. Nos lo van a separar.
Sí, White Dominican. Bueno, tengo este miedo. Bueno, no, Bloodman, yo difiero. Europeans are the biggest races on the planet. Yo no creo. La verdad que no. Hay muchos racistas, pero no. Porque así tiene, bueno, no. Difiero de eso. It's worse and worse every day because of actions of the few. Hay en todo el país, obviamente, pero yo no creo. Y tampoco es institutionalized, porque ante el Estado todos somos iguales y todos, o sea, el Estado, yo tengo derecho a tal cosa y no me lo van a enseñar por mi nacionalidad o religión o lo que sea. Ahora, a nivel privado, es otra cosa. Mucha gente sí, otra gente no. Hay de todo. Me ha tocado con bueno y con malo. Sí, Paula, mejorar la raza, exactly, sí, en eso que están ellos. Solamente que no lo dicen así, pero en eso que están. Latin America is African European, Native Dominican is African European. Sí, o sea, pero nosotros no estamos diciendo lo contrario, Bloodmoon, sino que también, o sea, y eso es algo que se desconoce, tenemos mucha influencia, y más en lo social, españoles, that's the way it is. O sea, yo encuentro que quizás desconocen mucho eso. Obviamente con todo lo que nosotros tenemos de influencia española o africana o nativa, lo que sea, es nuestra, pero la tenemos. Y I think you cannot deny that. Es así. You missed una parte donde yo estaba hablando del sazón en Portugal, en España y muchísimas cosas. Tenemos, o sea, tenemos todo eso culturalmente. We also are African, especially Caribbean. Tenemos mucho de africanos. Pero es diferente porque los africanos de Cuba son mayormente, generalmente, descendientes de yorubas de Nigeria. Nosotros no tenemos eso. Nosotros somos más descendientes de Angola, de Guinea, del Congo, y no tenemos tanta cosa de Nigeria. Tenemos algo de Senegal. Por ejemplo, en Haití, mucho de Senegal y Benín. Nosotros también tenemos, pero es diferente. O sea, venimos de otro lugar. Nosotros no tenemos de Namibia, no tenemos de Mauritania, no tenemos, yo creo que ni siquiera tenemos de Mali, creo yo, sino que venimos de diferentes regiones. Por eso que, por ejemplo, tú vas a ver en la santería, por ejemplo, y en la comida entre los brasileños y los cubanos, más, o sea, más cosas en común que entre los cubanos y nosotros, porque sus desplazados africanos vienen de la misma región.
Ujú.
Eso es, o sea, yo no estoy negando, nosotros no estamos negando nuestra raíz africana, sino que aparte de africana tenemos muchísimas otras más.
Sí.
Y que nos hemos dado cuenta que tenemos más nativos de lo que nosotros pensábamos. Esos cuentos de que por ejemplo, en San Juan, de esas piedras que son como santos, eso viene de los taínos. Esa cosa de que con el agua, eso viene de los taínos. Muchísimas cosas que uno desconocía. La forma de la vaina en los conucos, las canoas, muchas formas de la arquitectura en los campos, de la casa de la galería, señores. El tener galería, la galería que uno tiene allá en las casas, adelante, es taína. Sí, muchas de las casas que ellos tenían diferentes, en los bohíos, lo que sea, que ellos tenían una cosa antes como una galería, eso viene de ellos. El nosotros tener patios viene de los españoles, porque los africanos no hay cultura de patio, de los árabes también, pero un patio como que techado, y eso está en la zona colonial. No, tú ves esas casas españolas antiguas que tienen un patio en muchos conventos, en la casa techado, eso viene de la cultura también árabe, mora, porque nosotros estamos intertwined en todo eso.
Sí.
O sea, tenemos un vaina taíno, la galería taína,
Sí.
tenemos un patio español también.
Bueno,
Wow,
que son mezclados, wow, eso
en todos somos mezclados.
como una salsa.
¿Perdón?
Como una salsa.
Totalmente. Somos mezclados, que no somos ni uno ni otro, somos todo. Somos todo. ¿Qué más? Ahora que no tengo en una cabeza, pero muchísimas, nuestra palabra del diario, vivir. O sea, ahora vete a lavar esa cabeza que parece una guasábara, que dice mami. También. Muchísimas, come jaiba, y muchísimas, que yuca y 7,000 cosas de esas, también es de maíz.
Maíz de taíno, sí. Arepa.
Muchísimas de esas frutas, de
mango, guanábana.
Guanábana.
Que es nativo de
el Maví, mamajuana, también viene de eso.
Mamajuana, sí.
Es que tenemos de todo.
Sí.
De todo. Eso es.
Y yo creo que la gente quiere que, tú sabes, estudiar todos los aspectos de la sociedad.
Sí. El que está en casa en todo. Mondongo is delicious, but only my mom. Mi mamá no hace eso, mi mamá no le gusta eso. Nada, mi papá lo hacía bien, pero diferente a todo el mundo. Yo creo que a la gente solamente le gusta el mondongo de alguien que conoce de su mamá. Fuerte. Yes. Y claro, uno tiene que estar orgulloso siempre de sus raíces, ya sea alguna cosa. Todas las naciones del mundo tienen páginas bonitas y otras que son menos bonitas, pero en fin, eso es quien tú eres. O sea, que uno eres perfecto, tu padre tampoco, y ese es quien tú eres, y uno tiene que estar orgulloso de quién uno es. No, Bloodmon, no. Si contesté de mala manera, por favor, perdónenme. Es que yo tengo una manera de contestar muy, como que haciendo mi punto, pero no es que yo estoy como que insultando a nadie ni nada, sino es como que muy, quizás avasallante, no sé, pero perdón, o sea, era para he's obsessed with only. Yeah, sí, le encanta su European side y el otro no. Pero yo creo que lo de Dominican Renaissance es, creo yo, no sé, dime tú si me equivoco. que a la gente solamente hablar de los otros aspectos, tú quieres decir, espérense, pero no se olviden del aspecto español. Is that right? ¿O lo tuyo más solamente Europa?
I just watch how people behave,
Uh-huh.
and I just identify like why do people go to the Dominican Republic?
Uh-huh.
Why? Why are people obsessed with Dominicans?
Mi amor, tú y yo lo sabemos. A buscar mujeres que ellos encuentran más bonitas. Eso, ya.
Sí.
No podemos
What
hacer
are we not allowed to talk about without criticism? Why?
No, para mí es, ellos van a, porque si yo quisieran una, en fin, ya, pero tengo que, ustedes saben lo que yo quiero dejar dicho.
Sí, sí, yo sé. Pero eso es,
Hay más vecinos.
sí, eso es. Tú sabes, tenemos, tú sabes, mujeres muy, hermosas y, es como un look internacional que todo el mundo, tú sabes, le gusta.
Y que hay de todo, que tú vas a encontrar mucha, o sea, variedad.
Sí.
Variedad.
Sí.
La esclavitud terminó en Cuba casi en el 87, sí. Puerto Rico y Brasil. Yo creo que Brasil fue en el 88. So the African move was more pronounced than the Dominicans. Sí y no. Pero yo creo que la identidad está más pronunciada en el sentido que o sea, después cuando en Haití, en fin, ellos se declararon libres, la perla del Caribe fue Cuba. Entonces fue en Cuba que se pusieron a producir más caña, más tabaco, más de todo. O sea, se cambió y entonces importaron más personas en calidad de esclavos a Cuba. Entonces ya esa gente venía con su identidad y unos cuantos años después son libres, pero se quedan todavía con su identidad más pronunciada, creo yo. No solamente la sangre, es la identidad. Y después hubo también una segregación en Cuba y eso también crea como que un sentido más de identidad entre un grupo. Mientras en Dominicana todo el mundo se iba ligando, nunca hubo esa segregación. No que los esclavos estaban bebiendo champán y comiendo caviar, pero era una manera diferente. So, yo creo que es eso. Y en el 1888, no fue que nosotros tuvimos a Luperón como presidente. Fue en ese momento, en el 88. En 1888 o en 1883. Teníamos que era negro, Luperón. Era mitad haitiano y mitad de San Tomás o algo así.
Uh-huh.
So, gracias. No, pero a veces yo me worry, como a la manera de yo contestar, muy como que medio fuerte. Hay personas que creen que yo lo estoy como que insultando, en verdad no es tanto así. Should the stream about Dominican culture me? Porque a nadie le interesa eso, Dominican culture. A mí me encanta toditos así, la gente está en controversia, lamentablemente.
En controversia, sí.
Yeah.
Los chismes.
Hablan ustedes que yo, imagínate. Yo, si yo me pusiera a hablar de disparate de República Dominicana, tuviera muchos views y muchos subscribers. Sí, eso. No, we're not European at all. Nosotros somos dominicanos and the majority of us are mixed, totalmente. Una cosa que tenemos un chin de todo. Sí, man. No me quiero meter un lío. Hoy en día uno nunca sabe, flor de oro. Es como que si fuera privado es diferente, pero hoy en día con los trabajos, si tú no tienes tu trabajo tuyo, tu empresa, hay que tener un poco de atención con lo que uno dice. A mí me encanta un arroz con mango tailandés. Eso es lo que
I've actually had rice with a little bit of mango. Like in some certain, en algunos platos japoneses dan arroz con un poco de mango.
Sí, y en lo tailandés, creo que los vietnamitas también, pero los tailandeses tienen un dessert, que es arroz con dulce, pero arroz con dulce de coco y mango. Una vaina más buena. Yo hice uno y no me lo comí. I have the same personality as Paula. Her comments don't even pinch me. Pues a ti te odian mucho. No, a ti te odian. Ay. Pero de la que cae mal de una vez, o a alguna gente tú le cae bien, pero a nadie te dejas indiferente. Cae mal, entonces, como tú andas pariache. Y más a las mujeres tú le caes mal, entonces. Face to face. Bueno, señores, ya el esposo se acostó. Vamos a dejar esto aquí, pero primero, Macho, entonces te voy a comprometer públicamente que tenemos que hablar sobre Scarface, esa película, y la influencia que ha tenido en nuestra cultura joven, urbana. Tenemos que hablar de entrepreneurship en IT, en toda esa cosa. Y de otras películas, después sabremos cuáles. Y algo de cultura dominicana, pero tiene que ser algo muy específico. Porque
sí, muy específico.
Muy extendida. ¿Quién te va a encontrar? Oye, un momento. Thai food rice with mango. So good. Tyson. Tyson was fighting. No sé qué están hablando. Bueno, señores, gracias. Los voy a dejar nuevamente. Muchísimas gracias, Dominican Renaissance y Macho, por estar ahí. Mujeres, mis pilares, gracias. Un beso digital a todos. Gracias por estar ahí. Y Bloodman, a mí me encantaría de realmente un día, pero no lo vas a hacer. O manda una gente que hable de lo que estamos haciendo mal, como estamos haciendo mal como dominicanos, como padres, en el ámbito de educación. Tú eres muy perspicaz, tú eres medio psicóloga también, tú sabes ver los problemas y das siempre comentarios interesantes. O sea, tu punto de vista sería más que apreciado. Así que, beso a todos. Bye bye.
Okay. Tenga buena noche.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.